good day. That is sheer stupidity. Gotta take me to court. I'm prepared to go to court. I will take my seat. But there will be no law to back that. That is sheer stupidity. We're the one that built the first high school, public high school in this university. Today when you go there, people call it, we're the one that built the first town hall. We're the one that built about 2 markets, about 33 latrines. About 15 students left Liberia for the diaspora on scholarship. So we have come to carry that expertise in Nothing
has changed. Accountability. Being there for the people, making, show that the people work and it's paramount. So nothing has changed. We stand by what campaign promises and we will fulfill them through the involvement of the people.
Just right after this is the speaker elections of Capitol Hill. Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting the Rescue Black.
What is the Rescue Black?
Honorable. You don't know the Rescue Black. You know the person from I'm gonna say you know the person from the Rescue Black. Our own Honorable Poon.
You support Honorable Poon.
Absolutely.
Your politics feels.
If you want a reform, right? We're talking about which numbers
to make him the best.
Even if we have the entire number to put on speaker, we still love it. And people
won't get fire meeting. Yeah, we won't get so one fire care, we got to call fire soon, now want to wait. That whole point. So we're asking the government for help. Let him bring our help for us, for them to help us. Mostly the fire service in Mozzarella and Maggie, we won't get fire service here. So we asking the government to do that favor for us.
How many times you experience fire outbreak then?
We are experiencing 4 different times. Rainy got point. There was no fire service. They got to call fire soon. And Kagata, where do they play? Maningo Kwada got point. And more firehouse get bring here. There was no fire service. So asking the government for help, for that help for me.
We need to use it. So that when it comes,
Good morning, early risers. You're listening to the Punch Breakfast Show, your ultimate wake-up call, with your hosts Bokai Amara Kamara and Harris G. Belly. Rise and shine, everyone. It's time to kickstart your day with laughter and great vibes.
That's right. Grab your coffee and get ready for a sizzling morning packed with the hottest topics and the coolest tunes.
We've got everything you need to jump.
Oh yeah, it's another wet and lovely Tuesday morning across Liberia. Yeah, Tuesday morning across Liberia. Today is the 9th day of July, AD 2024. 11 minutes past 7 o'clock a.m. 7 a.m. Welcome to yet another edition of the Punch Breakfast Show on Punch FM 106.7. We are coming to you live outside the nation's capital in Monrovia. I just don't know how you are doing, but for me, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, yesterday I was under the weather, needed to go for treatment, but it's good to be back here this morning. Yeah, to serve you breakfast. And yeah, this is where, like I said, normally we make friends, we create enemies, we talk the talk. That's why we add a punch. We give some punches that will make Liberia better. All I can do, all I can say, sit back and relax, because this morning is going to be another fiery edition of the Punch Breakfast Show with me, Boakai Amara Kamara, along with Mr. Harris Belly. He's pretty seated here in Studio 2 this morning. Check in. Let me cross over and say, welcome, Mr. Belly. Welcome.
Good morning, Boakai, and good morning, everyone. I am good. I'm perfect. and I'm doing just as the way I should be this morning. Wonderful. And I hope that those of you watching us, those of you following the radio, that you are doing perfectly fine, perfectly okay as well. And of course, I'm honored as always to be on the show this morning, and like every other morning, to inform the Liberian people about what making news in our country. And so it is always a pleasure to have the greatest responsibility of informing our people, because we believe that an informed citizenry is one of the best guarantee of a continuing democracy. What that means is that when the citizens were people, when a specific group of people are informed about issues, about discussions, the conversations, Buckeye informed the people's decision on how they carry themselves, how they embrace each other, and how they worked on situation that surrounds them. And so as to make an informed decision, because you, the last time I checked, democracy is of the people, for the people, and by the people. So if we were to equip that, it means that it is all burdened on the people having informed and receiving all of the necessary information. So like that, they make an informed
give some preference to our online followers, those that are following us through the social media. If you're on Facebook, like Juje one way saying I'm following. I don't know where Juje you are following us from. Robert, that's Robertson Mombe say good morning, watching from GSA Road, Pinsville City. Jackson Mele say good morning, Punch family. I'm Jackson Mele following from Dupont Road Junction. Okay, Jackson. Jeremiah Binder say I'm following I'm following very closely this morning from my District 5 resident 72nd community. Blaman V Kamara say I'm good morning. I'm carefully following from that's Aspa City in Turkey. Okay. Jerry Dobley say good morning, guys. I'm following from Springfield, that's Springfield, Massachusetts, USA. Usman Collins, I'm following. Okay, so we want to give you guys a heads up this morning. Say you can be a part of us. Those are following us through our Facebook page. And Mr. Brady, what do we have on our menu this morning?
Yeah, and so at 9 o'clock, as per our scheduled, we will have a special guest at 9. We're going to talk basically about youth development, and as well as we transition to all the national issues, examining the president cut in the salary as well, Buckeye, and other issues the government have been involved with or recent. So that conversation at 9 o'clock promises to be firing. But until 9, our studio discussion this morning, Buckeye, you see, there are, and this is what I want Liberians to get this morning. Like the normal talk shows in Liberia, right? When people do the wrong thing, we just come out, latches them, we criticize them, and we done with it. For us here at Punch FM, we thought to come out with something different. That when the person has gone about, saying the unthinkable, the unspeakable, the ones that are not called for in our society, at first we chastise them for even thinking in that direction. Then the next reason we would, the next step we take is to go and investigate as to what led the person to say what they have said. Then at that level, we have an appreciation of the conversation. That Baka Kamara, for instance, has said this. So we say, okay, Baka, you shouldn't have said this. I mean, in fact, what you have said, it is even against our quest to have an improved system in this country.
Yeah.
Baka, what you have said is totally out of order, and it doesn't represent us as Liberians in our quest to have a developed country as the way we are, as the way we have tailored our approaches so as to help transform this country. So we will latches Baka at that point. Then afterwards, we as hosts on the show, we have to reconcile it and say, but if Baka have said this, there must be a reason. There must be an underlying factors. And someone will say something is highly on the sleeves. So on last evening, we had a conversation about Buckeye. We said what Benedict have said about the importation of the yellow machines. And Benedict, what Benedict have said about the yellow machines and things he have said that was not in line with the Liberian people's decision that they want this yellow machine to come to the country. So we went at first present right? Welcome. How is it now that ability upon the arrival of the machine has taken a U-turn? So we said that something was in the space
after visiting the Sakamo tree.
So we said that something was in the space. So when we did our background check, we did our investigation, Buckeye, we did our fact finding, and this morning we want to present to the Liberian people pieces of evidence, new breed of information that this is the reason. That if you see the ability sometimes in May that accepted the yellow machines coming in country, even at the time they was not in country, this is the same ability now that is able to take a sabbatical and said they come in the machines, calling on fellow lawmakers to reject it. It has an underlining tool, and the underlining tool we have unearthed that, and this morning we will present it to you, Liberians. We'll tell you exactly what's
the motive behind his coming. He coming back to Somerset after coming up previously to tell the Liberian people that it's good that we have this yellow machine. It's good that Liberians welcome it. We from the lower house, it's good that we welcome the coming in country of the yellow machine. I'm trying to go to where he said that. My dear colleagues, if I see is filled with criticism of the taking money. Okay, all right. I'm trying to go to his speech where he previously stated that he welcomed the importation of the yellow machines, and later on, Somerset, and then Harris will tell us what's behind his quick decision on going against the importation of the yellow machines. Sorry, you have to bear with me.
Yeah, so I think I have it from this.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says it was on May 26. Musa Benedict wrote and said
May 26. Yeah.
He said the news of the yellow machines is welcoming and must be embraced by all. Our roads are poor and our people are suffering. The legislation on the land item called presidential project gives the president the latitude in the 2024 budget to do something like this. This is no time to criticize such a revolutionary move by the executive. This is not the time to criticize such a revolutionary move by the executive. So this is what Benedict wrote. He said, we look forward to transparent and equitable implementation of this critical project. To equitable implementation. So the implementation aspect should be done equally. This is why. So which means that each of the 15 counties should have a
benefit. Yeah.
Now, in the minds of Benedict, in the mind of Benedict at the time, he had considered that what President Buckeye promised Liberian that each of the 15 counties in Liberia could have had
19
a cabinet minister. If you may recall, Buckeye sometimes during the inception of the government, the president was emphatic and said each of the counties we have at least a cabinet minister. Again, that was not achieved. Now all of the counties have a cabinet minister, right? So in the mind of Benedict was a reflection, reminding the president that we look forward to have an equitable implementation of this critical project. Now, Benedict went on to say that our roads are poor and our people are suffering, acknowledging that the need to address road connectivity in this country is beyond politics. Benedict acknowledged in this May 26 read out. He acknowledged that the issue about roads in this country, the deplorable state of our roads. The last time I read to you the statistics in this country, we have over 11,000 plus kilometers of roads. The last time we checked, It is less than 5% of those roads are paved. We have about 95% that are outstanding. Does it mean that the Joe Buckeye government can tackle it up all together? Yes, he can. And that can only happen, Buckeye, if the president start working as of this first year of his administration, like the way he has started. And at the concluding stage of his administration, 2029, there will be an appreciable effort. If all of them is not completed, if all of the major roads are not paved in this country, but there will be an appreciable effort, Buckeye. So at this level, Penete acknowledge the people's suffering. Penete acknowledge the people's problem. He aligned himself with the condition of the people at the time when the government has said we'll bring the yellow machine in. He said our roads are deplorable. Our roads are poor and our people are suffering. Buckeye, by this statement, it is a consent. It is an alignment. And it satisfied the conversation that the need that the government could do everything possible to ensure that yellow machines are bringing country to address the road was paramount. But you have Penete and others acknowledging that our roads are deplorable.
Very deplorable.
And they are not just deplorable. Our people are poor because of this. Our people are suffering because of this. Like parents are suffering because of this. So when Penete acknowledged that line, Buckeye, on that faithful May 26, it satisfied every Liberian. Buckeye, I'm seeing 317 comments. I had a time to read through those comments. And about 95% of those comments were commendable.
We're commending him.
And Liberians are saying, at least you have a time to have an understanding of our problems. At times we sit in Liberia, like we sit in Monrovia, like the normal politics. And this is where you see Buckeye, as I leave this radio. Let me be very clear this way. As I leave this radio, once I leave this radio, I mean, like the normal powerhouse politics and everything. At times, I don't give credence.
No.
Because a lot of us are discussing powerhouse conversation. You know why? We've not had the time to get us out of that. Get us out of Monrovia.
Absolutely.
But if you leave from here, get us out of Monrovia.
And
let's say the Rudy countries. When you come back, you say, President Bagama, go take yellow machine for anywhere and bring it in physical rules.
Yeah.
Okay, if you leave from here, you physically leave what countries, you see the challenging condition. For instance, yesterday was Monday, right? Like in Bomi on Monday is bar market, so it's one of the biggest commercial market in that area. Buckeye have a time to visit that area on Monday, and maybe ride with some of the drivers along the corridors and see how challenging the corridors are. The people used to bring that goods to the market. Face a Rofa, for instance, again, and have a conversation. Go Nima on the market day and just ride with the commercial vehicles and have an understanding about the challenges the marketers go through to bring that produce to the market for
our mothers are feeling the pain.
So at that level, at that so the Penete acknowledge, right? Penete acknowledge and align himself with the conversation. This was his May 26 readout. The news of the yellow machines is welcoming. It must be embraced by all. So whether you are sedition, whether you are ANC supporter, based on your political view, Penete at that time had the courage to send a message and said, let us embrace it in every one of us.
Every one of us. It's good that we have those machines, no matter where it is. It's in the best interest of Liberians.
Our roads are poor and our people are suffering. He wanted to say the legislation honor the land item called presidential projects, gave the president the latitude. He just said gave the president the right, but the latitude. So the latitude that has been all lined on there is an exclusion. It is an exclusive right the president has because the budget has already validated the president.
But why is it? Why is a sudden change? So the president having the latitude of
that's the point. That's why we want to digest this. This May 26 read out. So he acknowledged that the president has the latitude. But if you have a latitude of time, for instance, as the way it is being said, if someone has the latitude of time, it means you have much time in your favor. You choose to do what you want to do. You can wake up, you can work, you can do anything you feel like doing because you have exclusive authority to hold the time you have in your possession. So a better is saying you have the latitude of, the president has the latitude in the 2024 budget, which means the president in the 2024 budget that the legislature approved gave the president exclusive right to do what he wants to do as with the presidential project. How is it now you're coming back again? You said that the president have the latitude under the 2024 budget to do what he wants to do. Right? Under the presidential project. Now somewhat different. And the machines that are brought in the country, it is a testament of the presidential project.
Presidential
because
project.
it has been spelled out presidential infrastructure program.
Yeah.
So it is only the presidential project that President is acknowledging that the 2024 budget gave the the latitude to go ahead and do it.
So now, what is sudden change?
Again, we move on. Let's complete
let's complete the 26.
So he went up. He acknowledged there's no time to criticize such a revolutionary move. Imagine the attitude that's being used to attach to the president's wisdom. President is seeing the mind of the president. That President Boakai is condescending. That President Boakai has understood the problem of the people. That when the president had the time, to visit some of the counties during the campaign process, when the vice president had to leave his comfort, the comfort of his home, even though there were 4 soldiers out on the field that were able to do the work, the vice president abandoned his home and had to drive all along with John Balu somewhere in Maryland. They left from Maryland and went to Sando. They left from Sando and went to River G. So at the time you want to consider about the Unity Party has cells, they have structure. While we're Vice President Kun at the time he was a vice presidential candidate, we have to travel all the way to the southeast. The last time I checked, even during the campaign process, you and all travel to the southeast.
Yeah.
As far as Sano to go and campaign. Why is it Jeremiah Kun went there? Again, why you have to say, even though Jeremiah went at this, way in southeast, the votes from southeast were not encouraging. Now, it was not because of vote that Jeremiah Kun went to southeast. It was because to align himself, to connect himself with the condition
of the rules. And not to cut you off, Harris, his experience with the rule were terrible.
Of course.
Because he had to pack his car, get on motorbike, drive hours just to reach to no-go zone.
Zones.
You understand? So that's the pinch our people are feeling in the counties. We are this morning. What we are trying to is that the marketeers, the ordinary Liberian, I don't have the 4-wheel drive to move from one place, to commute from one place to another in a Leeward County. These are the people that we are talking about. We're not talking about representative there. We're not talking about ministers that will have the 4-wheel drive. They can go to Toyota Motor, Africa Motor there, and go and take brand new cars and put on the road. They can board those that way anytime at any point, anywhere. You understand? So now, Harris, one point here is that our marketeers, our mothers, our sisters that are in real life market in the Gorbachev field, that are bringing in their market, but then they welcome me, they get stuck up in the mud. Their goods damage. These the people that we're talking about, Harris. And somebody want to criticize, somebody want to come and tell us, no, because that day, so we shouldn't accept it.
Okay, so exactly to the point I was drafting now, right? So when the vice president had visited the southeast, upon his return, he shared a conversation with the president and said, Mr. President, I have returned to the southeast. Our concentration on the southeast should not be about votes. Our concentration on the southeast should not be about accumulating the numbers. Our concentration on the southeast should be about after these elections, when the Liberian people have given authority, Mr. President, there is a need that we have, and we have a fixed agenda on how we should address the people problem. The vice president has said to the president that the people of Southeast, they are economic viable, right?
Yeah.
To cater to their needs, Mr. President. But what is lacking is the connection that it needs, the raw connectivity in that area.
Yeah.
That was a conversation that the vice president shared with the president upon his return, but then it was still killing it. Now, when President Boakai won elections, afterwards the government is in power. He had called his vice president and said, "What can we do?" Man, you came back from Southeast with a report that the people there, they are able to sustain themselves. Boakai Southeast is rich. I mean, without knowing anything now. Southeast has, it is bordering with Ivory Coast, right? So the people have a free flow of the economic activities as well. Southeast has a lot of companies. Golden Verona is there. You want to go on to name the different concession companies as well.
Yeah.
But the challenging condition is that the people want to have a free flow. On top of that is that the people from Southeast are strong. The last time I checked, the Crown people, the last time I checked, the Grebo people, the last time I checked, without being tribalistic. Doing these different tribes are there. These are people that are able to contribute to our agricultural developments in this country. The agriculture ministry will launch a 6-year agricultural plan. Part of that, the people of Southeast need to benefit, but the benefit people of Sophia is dependent on the connectivity of the roads as well. So when the president met that president and said, this is where we are, what can we do? And the vice president said, Mr. President, the promise I made to the people is that we'll
face the road. We face the road.
So by all means, Mr. President, let's get our hand on deck.
Yeah.
So that's how the conversation started. So when Benedict said it was a revolutionary move, okay, the last time I checked, revolutionary move, a move that brings result. What
I take it from well
means. Whether through violence, whether through destruction, revolutionary move, a move that brings violence. I'm saying I bring results. So we're better acknowledging that this is a revolutionary move in the interest of our people's private, that our people are concerned about this. Then, Parker, you know what it shows? It shows at that level the ability at the time were in support of the president.
Yeah.
That Mr. President, go out there. Mr. President, I have been to Nima, Iman District number 7 in Nima. The people are suffering. The roads are the problem. Now you listen to a representative from Bombing County, Obadiah Vanu, will be saying that Mr. President, I have visited Zebekle, for instance, in Bombing, and I get to understand that the roads condition are terrible. Right? Then you listen to Bintu Masare from Great Cape, will be saying, Mr. President, that there is a need to address this problem. You want to move to Bapolo County as well. You'll be listening to Zina Nomo. So from the different locations, different lawmakers acknowledge. So at that level, Brakai, the president is saying, what can we do? Let's consider the options. Now, legislature already approved the 2024 budget that has what we call the presidential project being captured on there. So it gives the president, as per Benedict's interpretation, a latitude to make a determination in the interest of the people. Because this would have been a problem if the president would have used the presidential project to go and start building condominium for himself. This would have been a problem if the president would have used the land item under the presidential project
to develop his own county, and build his own mansion.
That was
then the issue here we'll be discussing. Yeah, because the presidential project is meant for the president. You understand? That he will undertake anything around him. So Harris, my point here is that is the president undertaking this in his own interest? No.
The president is not taking this in his own interest.
Okay, and then this is in the interest of Liberians, right?
And Baka, this is why it puzzles me a lot. This is why it surprises me a lot. I've had a time to read through a lot of governments, right? Government in, government out. When Salif took over in 2006, by 2007, the corridor for Swing Market up to Clay to our hometown, up to Juedra to our hometown, going to Clay. It was a major concern. It was the first thing she had a great arrow, even though it was in that altogether alpha pavement. When we will go back to recall when we took over, I mean, as well, you start to cater to, start to look at some piece. So it is President Baka that want to equalize the conversation. That let's have all of the countries. President Baka was saying in his wisdom that, you know what? Let's get too much into Babu. Babu is a small country. Let's get
Babu small, Lofa big, and this. But the man said 19
across the board.
19 across the board.
Now, this is where the conversation is broken. So when Benedict had appreciated the president and said this is a revolutionary move because Mr. President, you have the latitude to go about this. So our people are poor. So this cannot be a matter of criticism.
Okay.
Then someone's asking, well, how is it now that from May 26th to July 8th, they may have so much of in the space of 1 month.
Okay, so now let me kind of then on after that was the 26th of May, right? Okay, on the 27th of June 2024, Mr. Benedict did receive a letter. It says June 25th, 2024, Honorable Musa Hassan Benedict, Chairman, Liberty Party, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Chairman, I present my compliment on behalf of the that's the Congress for Democratic Change, the CDC, and right to officially invite you to the Militant Day program scheduled for the 28th of June 2023 at the CDC headquarters located opposite Lone Star Cell head office on the Tottenham Boulevard, Congo Town. Please be informed that the official program will commence on Friday, June 28, 2024 at 10 a.m. at the same venue. The CDC Militant Day program is consistently observed by the party, blah, blah, blah. So on the 27th of June, he was invited to the CDC office for a program. So his invitation came with a lot of criticism. Then he came out and said, on the tone, he said, a sheer audacity of objecting my presence at the opposition event is absolutely ridiculous. How dare you? So he was talking to people that criticize him. So what are we bringing out of these things? We are driving to a point, my people. You keep listening. We are driving to a point. I want to taking it bit by bit.
So you understand the ignorance of the mistake in Bennett's mind that he continued to sell out to the Liberian people. The mistake is there, but he's ignoring it and continues to sell to the Liberian people. This is a man that is criticizing President Boakai for bringing equipment. But this is a man that is not wanting to accept when his supporters, right, are saying that visiting the headquarters of the party, we are not in support. We are not in support of that. And the man says it's a sheer audacity. And how dare you to question me?
Yeah.
Also, you can be
questioning people.
You can criticize others.
Oh, okay. I don't understand that part.
But above the law, that people can criticize you.
Yeah.
So you see how officials in this country tailor themselves, right? Or you will take the microphone and criticize the government. So I tell you how the government can be criticized. But listen, in other countries, the reason you see that democracy is flourishing, those that ought to be politicians, I know they are liars. But they are liars that go with sanity. They are liars that go they are liars that are sacred. They are liars that people cherish. So you know what happens when you criticize people? You come with the best of attitude as well. That people will say, "Oh, this is the person." Oh, you go to this here corner, the people now your supporters criticizing you. Then he says a sheer audacity, it's a disrespect. Why people want even criticize you want to see this here corner? But you will sit down from the comfort of your home and say 85 pieces of machine come in the country, calling other people to reject it. Listen, Boakai, the fact that Benette will have called other lawmakers and called Liberians to reject the machine, right? It has security implications as well. Right? It is rising against the development of the country. Is that not troubling to you? That is. Is that not troubling? Listen, the freedom of expression we talk about in this country must come with people upholding respect to our democracy. The freedom of expression we talk about must come with people upholding to the peace and sanity and the security of our states. So, mind you now, without underestimating, Benette come from a political bloc. He's aligning himself with the CDC. Then come on soon morning, and say, we call everybody to reject that. Boakai, it has a political honor too. Today, the youth that in Kenya are suffering is because of that. The government of Kenya has said that we want to increase tax because we want to raise our own resources as a country. So we won't be depending on foreign donors as well. So when we increase the tax, will be a good thing. When the conversation was on, it took just a lawmaker in the cabinet to go and use a platform and misinterpret what the government wanted to do. You saw the chaos that went in Kenya. You saw how the people there, some of them, their lives were destroyed. Over 20 plus persons were killed. And over hundreds of them were wounded. It pressured President Wutos, and to a point that he nearly resigned based on the pressure. You think such an environment you can embrace it? That would have been done if that was not of ability to move on. I think he has his communication he wrote. I want us to read it, then we can. The
one he just
the recent one.
Okay.
I want us to read it. So
let me go back there again. So folks, like we said, we are driving at something. And very soon so the recent one, which was 2 days ago, right? He said, esteemed member of the 55th HOR, the current situation demands that we fulfill our elected duty to safeguard our democracy with an impending decision on a questionable loan for the procurement of machines. We must carefully consider the impact on our nation's best interests. So the man is talking about nation's best interest here. On our nation's best interest. Why the need for infrastructure improvements is evident. The terms of this particular deal do not align with our constitutional responsibilities. It is essential that we reject this proposal. Once again, it is essential that we reject this proposal in order to uphold the integrity of our constitution and act in the interest and act in the best interest of Liberia. This is our moment to demonstrate unwavering commitment to our country. So that's what the man is saying here.
Okay, so this is a movement now to commit unwavering commitment
to the country.
When you are elevating and stealing from the country, you now commit unwavering commitment.
Oh, the man stole from that.
Buckeye, my man, you all know the story, but you know elevating back. But Latin answer the way they ask me, Buckeye. This is not a hailing, secret. This is an open conversation. When you are at FIFA, when you are at LFA, when you bowl out funky in the country for the footballing body, we know the story about Benedict. All right. So at that time, there was no love for country. But listen, this is a conversation, Buckeye. So we have reached a point that in May 26, Benedict and distract the president's decision or the president's conversation on F-moving equipment as a revolutionary move. That it was a latitude the legislature gave the president. So this is the point I want us to connect the two radar before we bring you what we have gathered. The truth, the real thing behind the thing. But before then, Buckeye, in this radar 2 days ago, after the machines were brought in country, Benedict said the president violated the constitution. That the president, the president was not having right to bring the machine without the approval of the legislature
after previously agreeing to it.
So let's hold a fact constant. Let's hold all the accounts correct. That Benedict said the constitution was violated. That the president should not have brought in the machine without the approval of the legislature. Right? Let's hold that fact constant. Then the president argument now will be that Benedict, at the time of, because I'm not a legislator, I've not been a legislator, right? I've been a member of the executive throughout my life. So I don't have an understanding about the runnings of the legislature. So what happened is that at the time I needed to come to the legislature, I woke up one Sunday morning and I told my phone, I saw Benedict said, you're the legislature. You're the legislators have given me the latitude on the 2024 budget to do what I want to do. So the president argument now will be, let's go before the speaker. Mr. Speaker, your representative said, I'm wrong. Your representative said, I'm wrong. I breached the constitution. That I did not follow the procedures in the constitution to bring in the machine, so I'm wrong. Mr. Speaker, I listen to you. But this is your same, this is your same representative that told me on May 26th that you, the speaker, approved only in the budget that I should go ahead and bring in the machine, that I have the latitude to do so because it is in the budget, it's only the presidential project. So how can I validate this? At one point in time, your representative told me that I should go ahead and do it because you approve it. Now I went ahead and did it. Then how is it now that you called me back and say I was wrong again for doing it? Then at that point now, the speaker, Baka, if you were the judge, then Benedict will be held liable, right? So it's like you went on, how you call it? You went at a place where people have no idea. So let's consider. It happened in somewhere in District Number 5 in Bon County. A man went there and said he was contesting. So he told the people that let's put $200 each person across it. I think about 15 towns in that area. So they put $200 each person. And so each person, now each household, but each person that live in that area. And so that process when the people collected over millions like $1 So it was given to him to go and build roads. So when he collected that money, he went and ate the people money. He did not build roads. So the representative of the district came in fit. So when the representative called him, he said, "But Mr. Representative, the thing was that this was a lie, it was a this and that kind of thing." So the representative said, "But the people. The people don't have idea that you don't know how to build roads. So you come to the people and say, we can build roads. Let's go ahead and do it." So the people just tell you. They say, "But then since you brought the account to us, we can hold it. So when anything goes wrong, we will hold you because you never went and gave the people the assurance." It's similar with what Benedict has done. Benedict told the president on May 20 said that, "Mr. President, we the legislature have given you the latitude. We the legislature have given you the authority. As with the budget, there is a land there, Mr. President. Let me remind you, called presidential project. It gives you the sole responsibility to go ahead and do what you are doing now." And in fact, this is a revolutionary move, Mr. President. So President Baka said, "Okay, but no problem. Because if I have ability, who is an opposition lawmaker and is informing me as a president that this is what I should do, Then there was no problem.
There's need for me to bring in the machines.
Then when the president asked for your account and consented and brought the machine in. So when you witness the video from district number 7 in your Nima County, when the people were hailing the president, when you witness that in Coca-Cola factory in different parts of Liberia, when people were hailing, when Liberians were hailing the president, now you take sabbatical. You say, no, the president will do it. But here is a point, Buckeye. And this morning, I want each and every Liberian on the sound of my voice to listen to me and listen very well. Buckeye, can you remember when Benete took to his platform, to his Facebook page, and said, informing citizens that George Weah should not be Senate Bearer in 2029? Yeah,
just recently.
Do you remember, Buckeye, when Benete said that the CDC said by to come by is good? The CDC redesigning her approach towards the 2029 is good, but bringing George Weah is the wrong thing to do. Have you asked yourself why Benete made that statement? No. Fellow Liberians, have you asked yourself why Benete made that statement? That statement is not it's not just a way to think or just say something.
Like he appeared on a local radio station and even overemphasizing that Mr. Weah shouldn't be the next person on the CDC ticket comes 2029. CDC should look for another alternative.
Have you asked yourself
why is Musa saying this?
Have you asked yourself
and I come in, Harris. Let's not forget that this man is noted for destroying
political
parties. He's a divisive person.
Yeah, of course.
He divided the Liberty Party today. Completely divided the Liberty Party.
That's the word.
Today, now the Liberty Party, no head, no tail. One person is claiming that Liberty Party with just the name, while others are carrying the entire body of the party. You understand the engine of the party. So now after the man, he went forth again to the CPP. With his presence within the CPP, he worked along with Mr. Cummins and other folks. They destroy the togetherness the opposition bloc came up with. And today, here we are. The CPP, there's no more anything called CPP. This is how divisive this brother is. So now the man now is with the CDC. So my fellow citizens, you say, oh, Mr. get money, he pumping money, he doing it. But you have to be careful with the character called Musa Hassan Benete. If you are not careful with the character called Musa Hassan Benete, he will destroy your political party. And you don't tell say the man will steal from you because
So this is a conversation, Buckeye. Like you right to place it. Benete all through his life has been a person of division. And I'm thinking, and I'm worried. I'm worried that even in Nima, Benete might likely divide the people in Nima. That for sure. That's a character in Benete. Everywhere he goes, he divides and rule the people. So when he divides, he makes certain group of people believe that he's able to do it. As those Liberty Party partisans, the ones that Benete had the willpower. They tell you today, Martin Kula shouldn't have been enjoying the leverage of Nobly Kanga Lawrence.
They should have.
They tell you now as we speak, the way Dana Sano enjoy the confidence of Nobly, that's how Martin Kula should have been.
Yeah.
But Martin understood, he followed Benete because Benete presented it and said, you know what, let's divide and rule. And Martin said, Kula did not understand at the time, but he did not understand at the time what it took, right, to be with Benete. And folks, you're selling everything you have labored for. It took that you lost all of your friends. It shows that you lost all of your connection in your networks. Martin at the time was not thinking that way. Cummins at the time was never thinking that way. And so he came and ruptured over there and divided and ruled him. This is the same energy Benete is carrying to the CDC. And fellow citizens this morning. Those of you, fellow citizens, that's how they call themselves.
Yeah.
And those of you that are a member of the CDC. And all appearance, I want you to listen to this I'm about to tell you.
We're telling you today, you're going to say winter.
Benete visited the CDC headquarters. It was, if not the first of its kind, but it was the first of its kind in a long while.
Mm-hmm.
He visited the CDC headquarters.
Why he visited?
Why Benete visited the CDC? Benete visited the CDC headquarters on the invitation of Fonati Kofa. It was never the CDC. Listen, that letter, it was that orchestrated the CDC or pressured the CDC to have Benete invited. Listen, Baka on a fair no common zero, Benete and CDC shares nothing in common. That CDC will invite Benete to that program. Never.
So Fonati is getting involved into this.
I'm coming. Benete was being invited at that program on the invitation of Fonati Kofa. Now, just mean that you will see the letter carry CDC local and everything. Fonati had requested. Jefferson Koji is the Secretary General of the party. So, by all understanding, he holds the pen authority to invite who to invite as per the authority of the party structure. Now, the party chairman dictates as who should be invited. At that level, Janga Kowu is none of a party chairman. So, that's Jefferson is about to control Fonati. Jefferson is controlling Janga Augusta School.
Yeah.
So, at that level, it is with Koji now that Fonati was able to rub shoulder and had an official integrity. It was never at the way and place. This is not the same ability that Koji took physical fight with.
Yeah.
It's not the same ability that Koji insulted and said he was one of the corrupt individuals that Liberia has ever produced since the post-war country. You think a man like Koji will want to compromise that so easily and just can't invite ability because what has ability showing? What has military presence got to do with the CDC who have imparted the CDC setback to come back? Was military part of the CDC setback?
No. No.
Presence bring the CDC back?
No.
But Baka have asked himself why Benete was invited at the CDC headquarters. Now, this is a conversation fell lapidity. As we speak, the speaker, Fonati Kofa, is working his way through. Now, the speaker at this point understands that you go left, you go right, you go front, go back. Seditions today, you have an opinion. No one's in the mind of sedition aside from George Weah, even 2029. No one's on the mind of seditions except George
Weah. Yeah.
A way to get certain number of seditions against George
Weah
is to bring the progenitor, is to bring the engine, is to bring the mastermind of division in Liberia politics.
The divisive person.
Is to bring the divisive person, the mastermind, the disunity factor. Is to bring the character of disunity to serve as a lead negotiator in the deal to have sedition to believe in your agenda. We can confirm this morning that Speaker Fonati Kofa has an already agenda for 2029 to be president of this country.
And he want to run on the CDC ticket.
Speaker Kofa already has a fixed agenda that of 2029 he wants to be president of this country.
Yeah.
That's already fixed. Now, the one that he's negotiating is to go on a party ticket because the last time we checked, the last time that Liberia produced an independent president as the president of this country, it has been for a very long while.
Very long.
A very long time. So Speaker Kofa has read through the history of this country. Now, so what he's doing is that he has to find a political party that will welcome and embrace him, a party not just embracing him, a party that has the number, a party that's able to pull out, to present him to the Liberian people, and there will be considerations. To get that done, it is with a CDC already has a foundational establishment in the CDC. But now the CDC is telling you that George Weah will come back 2029. So a way to stop George Weah from coming back 2029 so that Fonati will be seen as the option, right, is to bring in Benete and Benete start to play the divisive politics. Now, by Benete saying that George Weah should not come back 2029, Benete has already warned the admiration of another tough talking Lester Tenney.
Yeah.
Lester Tenney now, who a member of the CDC, will join Benete
and say
yes. They become two forces.
Yeah.
Two forces that are able to negotiate. That's where the negotiation will start from.
And then Fonati Kofa is there now pumping the money.
Yeah. Now Fonati Kofa has already warned Koji over with the money.
Yeah.
Because currently, as we speak,
Koji
the CDC is functioning a way where the CDC will be dependent on
Fonati.
Or external resources.
Yeah, and Koji is now living with Fonati.
So that's how it is. Now Fonati now is now as we speak, Fonati has not shared his decision with Koji yet.
Yeah.
But he's presenting himself like it's like
But
they get something we call kafu, right?
Mm.
That kafu now he gave him koji. So that because you already eat it in your stomach.
Mhm.
So you can go against it. And you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now that's how Fanati is using koji. So koji is requesting Fanati is making it
Providing
available.
it. Okay.
So when we reach a point now when Fanati says my picking, I won't contest now. The koji at that level because he get a kafu in your stomach. Those of us in our elaborate palan, you know what is kafu.
You know, careful, yeah.
Right? It is something that it is
Once
like
you eat it, you're forced to.
you force to labor
obey
in
it,
it,
yeah.
you force to obey it.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Mhm.
So what Fanati is doing now, he has brought on Benete. So through Benete negotiation, because Leicester Teni already have a disunity
Mm.
with Benete.
Mm.
Moba Molu already have a disunity. I'm saying Leicester Teni already have a disunity with George.
With George, yeah.
Moba Molu already have a disunity with
With
George.
George, yeah.
Believe you me, regardless of Moba Molu having that sort of directive for New Day thing, we can't
Forget
let
that.
that thing to be.
Mm.
Eh?
Mm.
There will be a force that will endorse.
Mhm. The CDC.
If
Fanatic
if
offer.
Fanatic will go on the ticket,
Okay.
there'll be that sort of directive for a New Day will be one of the like mother institution that will endorse
The CDC.
Fanatic ticket. That's how it is.
Mhm.
So what is happening now is to bring Benete in.
Mm.
Benete now start the negotiation.
Mm.
Now Benete will be as frequent to sell George Weah out in a way that it will be a conversation in the CDC.
Yeah.
That people say, but
Yeah,
George
but-
Weah said before now.
Yeah, man.
Let's get people another. Let's get another person to
Let's
change.
get Fanatic
So
offer
when
the
say,
change.
let's get another person to change. Who is the person?
Fanatic.
Fanatic New Papa.
Because he's been pumping money.
They probably
He
money.
been sponsoring Koji. And
So-
Koji had the
now-
grassroots.
So Koji has the grassroots.
Mhm.
So the grassroots will come to Koji on the
Uh-huh.
sideline and say, but let's hear about the I'm saying about George Weah talking. Who else can we see now? So Koji will say, but me, I want George Weah. But if the partner want George Weah, only person who can consider now
Mm.
that Fanatic.
Fanatic.
Then Fanatic name start to suffer bit by bit.
Yeah.
At the same time, Benete is still working and dividing them bit by bit.
Mm.
I will confirm to you this morning. It is on that basis that the deputy speaker,
Mm.
Tomo Farah, already has an understanding of that composition. As we speak, there is a disunity between
Thomas Fala,
Fanatic Kofa.
they are not going along again. No more
they're
because
not
of,
putting it on our faces.
because of the invitation of Musa.
But there is because Tomo Farah already have an understanding about who Benete is.
Mhm.
If Benete visiting your home is not free.
No. No.
Benete Babaka, this is a character.
Mhm.
Benete went to the United Party. He
Mm.
did not succeed.
Yeah.
Benete, you know what? Benete at first had to endorse Richard Kun because Benete wanted to be deputy speaker.
Mm.
So at that level, when he went on, even though he endorsed Richard Kun, the United Party was still not giving him space because there was a reflection on Brakai.
Mhm.
The United Party reflected and know
Absolutely.
who this person was.
Yeah.
So at that level, they said no. Even though he endorsed our picking Paul, we're not supporting
We
you.
know, we
to
know.
be
We-
deputy
we-
speaker.
we are
We
not-
know you.
We know you. We know the
We know
we know the
you.
type of character
We
you
know
are.
you. So at that level, Benete took a sabbatical, right?
Mhm.
At that, there is a confirmed report that even on that day when Benete was voting for the speakership, he did not vote for Richard Kun. But I won't be it will be another sad thing. Sad long conversation.
Mm.
So at this level, Brakai, when Benete was invited, now Tomo Farah, deputy speaker, took an official. He communicated to Jefferson Koji,
Yeah.
who is the secretary of the party,
Mhm.
and said, who invited Benete? And that's how Koji told him that it was on the order of the speaker. That's how when Tomo Farah reached out to the speaker and said, well, why is it that you got to invite Benete as part of our program here?
Mm.
And Benete, and the speaker said, well, Benete, our man, Benete,
Man from the opposition.
and that kind of thing. Now, it was at that point that Tomo Farah took a sabbatical. Tomo Farah started to understand that something is about to happen.
Something is happening. Somebody is rubbing shoulder
the
with
good thing about
the
the
camera.
conversation is this.
Mm.
The good thing about the conversation is that George Weah is that reluctant kind of person.
Mm.
George Weah is that reluctant kind of person. As we speak, George Weah is focused on living his luxurious life.
Mhm.
George
Mhm.
Weah is not
He
waiting.
get time.
George Weah is not waiting yet to go spend money on CDC.
No.
So at that level, any financier or CDC or territory George Weah embrace you. Believe you me, if the need would be that George Weah say for Natiko and say no why you'll be the party.
chairman.
I'm saying you'll be the candidate on the party ticket. That's
George will say
George Weah will
up
do.
until 2-3 months to the election. Then
election and
then-
you're not contesting,
yeah.
come and tell you will contest.
yeah.
So George was able to tell Fanati, say, you know what? The thing sponsor the thing. 2029,
I will put you here.
You contest
Because he wants somebody to be financing the party. He don't want to do it because he's
but
living
this is
luxurious life.
against the disagreement of Tomo Farah.
Okay.
So because there's been a disagreement of Tomo Farah, the working relationship between the deputy speaker and the speaker now is at a crossroad. What is happening is that the coming session is a matter of more because the both of them sit by each other. So it's a matter of more you put on the normal posture. But in person, it is never that way. On party line, it is never the way again. They only work for the capital. Now, another thing the speaker is doing now is working with Penete to take the message to some sedition that Tomo Farah is working for the Unity Party.
Okay.
That's how he's saying it.
Yeah.
If you may recall, the last time when Tomo Farah was invited at the CDC headquarters, he had to stay there and blasted at the CDC as a party. When the CDC has said the induction ceremony of Francis Newman, I want to connect you back. When Francis Newman was being inducted as Minister of Internal Affairs, Tomo Farah attended that program. Afterwards, the CDC took an approach, and there was an emergency executive meeting, and they wanted to suspend Tomo Farah for attending Newman program. It was at that time when Tomo Farah invited at the party headquarters. Tomo Farah stood there and blasted the CDC and said, nobody dare try to suspend me from this party. Because you know why? You had your senator on Capitol Hill. Your senators had the power to confirm or to reject a nomination from the president. Your CDC senators, they voted for the confirmation of Francis Newman, who am I as a deputy speaker on a national duty cannot attend the endorsement ceremony for which a party want to suspend me. Tomo Farah said to them that day that if you want to suspend me, suspend all of your senators that voted for Francis Newman to be, confirmed. It was at that point that the conversation ended. It was the first time that I saw Tomo Farah to be as desperate as
and you covered that program.
I was there.
Okay.
It was the first time that Tomo Farah blasted under the sycamore tree for the very long one, not against the opposition, but against his very party. And that day I said, something is creeping. Something is creeping in Boakai. And from that point, Tomo Farah has lowered. Boakai took out the about the 4 bar.
We don't see Tomo Farah. He was not there. He was there. He went there.
I think one of his days he passed through.
Okay.
But he was not as active member. As actively engaged the way you expected him to be.
Okay.
It was from that conversation when Koji has said to Tomo Farah that we did not expect you to go send an honor Francis Newman to go for Francis Newman endorsement because Francis Newman was one of those that during the time, the CDC in Lofa.
In Lofa, the rally, the problem in Lofa.
No Francis Newman was part of it. So you cannot go on a main program. That's how Tomo Farah confessed. But Tomo Farah was called for a minute to just come and make a statement. He used over 5 minutes, Boakai, and blasted and said, I've listened. But this conversation is not for the Geo Congress. The conversation is for a dosing executive. If you want to suspend me, suspend all of those CDC lawmakers, senators that all Capitol because they were the one that confirmed Francis Newman. That's how that conversation started. So from Tomo Farah has begun to understand the workings of the speaker. That the speaker is working something negatively out to get George Weah out of the picture completely because Funatikova has a healing agenda. Listen, fellow Liberians, this is not something outside of the space. The speaker Funatikova wants to be president 2029.
Yeah.
He wants to be the presidential candidate on the CDC ticket.
Yeah.
To do that is to get George Weah out of the picture. To get George Weah out of the picture is to bring Benete to defy a rule. And a part of that now, Benete to start opposing everything that government will do. When Benete is opposing everything government will do, the CDC will start to find favor in Benete as well. They start to call Benete the Combre. When they call him Benete the Combre, Benete start to align himself with some of the activities. When Benete is aligning himself with some of the activities, Benete start to recommend who should be
or who's not to be.
Who is the best person?
But the mayor already started. The mayor started saying George Weah shouldn't be the next alternative of the party.
That's what I'm saying.
George Weah should be kicked out. And citizens, you sit there and allow somebody that don't have control over your party to now start making decisions, all because Funatikova want him to come and divide the party. That's why it's like now.
So imagine a man that has no foundational establishment of a political institution can set and dictate who should be president who should be the presidential candidate on the party ticket. A man that has no foundational establishment of the political institution. The last time I checked, Benete has no foundational establishment. Have you asked yourself why Speaker Kofa continue to create positions in your office and appointing other people?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the Teddy Ure,
Mhm.
like the Baron Brown, the Baron, like the different individuals. And there are a lot more names. The last time I checked, the speaker already instructed Belete that part of his budget, he as a speaker will be directed towards Belete. Belete will start picking up seditions. Seditions that have the authority and bringing it in your office to work. Not necessarily that they get job there to do, but to just have that confidence. Belete putting full material. Some of these like-minded seditions that the first time looking at, they resigned from the CDC.
Okay.
Like the other guys are resigning, like the other youth that are there, because a lot of those young men that worked with the CDC years ago, they are already going back to square zero. So at that level now, the guys are having the thing. So the speaker now will use portion of the budget to be sent to Belete office. The Belete will walk in already with the divine and rule mind, start to pick some of the bright mind solutions, bring them all in his office, give them, create some kind of position that is no position, but just put in there. So he brought out Teddy Ure. Because Taylor has been one of those, Taylor the Ures also have their relationship with George Weah. It goes beyond just the political space. So bringing Taylor now, Taylor start to benefit from the Kafu also, right? The Kafu I spoke of. Hey man, I want some of you in life want to say what I call Kafu. Hey, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it right name for it, but Liberian Pana, Palang is something where, you can put your stomach, right? It's like a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
When you part of it, when you taste it, now you just can't live by it. So he went and brought up Taylor. So he brought Taylor with an understanding that the Ure will be, the Ure will be to buy the sympathy of the Ure. To buy the sympathy of the Ure, to buy the interest of the Ure. So Bernard Ure, now, even if he will still be around 2029, if the War Crime Court is established, if he will still be around 2029, we'll tell your children and say, listen, your sister Taylor is benefiting from this man. There is a likelihood that when this man is president, we will have a greater share in the governance structural process. At that level, the Ure will start to weigh shoulder with Fonati Kofa as well. So that's how Fonati went to create a position that was no position in his office and get Taylor Ure and gave her a salary of over $1,000 US per month. Currently, Taylor sits comfortably. I know, Taylor necessarily not have to come to work. She works from anywhere when she wants to travel. Fonati honor all of her expenses. Why you think Fonati is spending all that money, Baka? It will just internal to the folk Fonati spending that money. Why you think Fonati will have to have some of his budget diverted to Musa Belete to go and start picking seditions? Baka, we are going to report in the next coming day, there'll be a lot of seditions will be employed in Belete office. Not because it's not because that position. Those seditions will be employed in Belete office will not be on the payroll of national government. That the way you have the civil servant, they have the chief of staff deputy. That's not it. They'll be at the future position will be created, and those seditions will sit there and the benefit. Then at that level, Belete is speaking the one after another. Start to have the comment. But George Weah, we already said president. They may already achieve everything. That's how the conversation started. They may play football. They may become senator. They become president. So you know what? Everything else at the so at that way now, those seditions as well start to rub shoulder. Gradually, negotiations ongoing. While we're building a man that no foundation of a political institution will determine who should be president for that party. The party say. Why we asking on Facebook and say President Baka should not be killing or Jamaica should not be killing on
United Party. What fish I get on Friday?
That's it.
That's
so
the question.
Tells you that you have a fish. That's why you're making that statement. So you see, because if you don't get fish or fry, you don't make such a statement.
No.
Baka, you're making that statement because you get fish or fry in that way, and the fish you fry is for Fonati Kofa to be fried in that way. So that's how you have it. So fellow Liberians this morning will confirm me. All of what Belete is doing is being orchestrated by the speaker, because the speaker has an underlining agenda to be president in this country. Now, to get that done is to be on the ticket of the CDC, which will be a major opposition force in 2029. So to be a major opposition force, you got to get George Weah out of the picture. To get George Weah out of the picture, you got to bring in Belete to be the divine rule method. So a part of where Belete will be the divine rule method is to start to oppose the government, everything government will do. When Belete started to oppose everything government will do, he will receive the overwhelming support and the confidence of seditions as well. Because seditions have been tailored in a way to oppose what everything government will do. So at that level now, if you're having someone championing your disagreement to the house, even if your disagreement is unnecessary, but they must have the courage to champion it. Even though your disagreement is unnecessary, but that person has the ability to muster the courage and take it before plenary and to set out that disagreement, even though it doesn't make sense.
Mm.
The citizens start to be confident with that person. So when a citizen becoming confident with ability, that's how ability start to infiltrate. When ability is infiltrating, is dividing. When you're two, you agree, you force to get one person with the element.
As a door in front of the office also.
Of course. So you see,
as a door, the main fanatic office
trust
also.
where you gotta retake.
They come and kick him out of their own party because of the presence of Musa Berete. So, folks, this is how it is like. But before we go to the phone line, what gave you a report from an independent? No. It is not from us. It is not from us. Don't say this report that will come to play for you. We'll be going. Let me announce to you. Probably a few days you will not hear us on this platform because we'll be out of time. We're going to the southeast very soon. Even if it's not this weekend, but probably next weekend. But either this weekend or
this
next weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah.
By Friday,
Friday
or
or
Saturday,
either we may not likely not be on the show because we will be heading to the southeast to bring you a clear picture of the road conditions there in the southeast. But before we do that, fellow Liberians, our friend and brother from another station called OKFM, Mr. Chokon Weplu, did a report. He did a report about the road condition there in the southeast. He just got back. He and Kevin, yesterday we called Mr. Kevin Deming on the show and he listened to Kevin. But this is a report from Chokon Wepu for OKFM, and we are playing this because we want you to get a clear picture of what's happening in the southeast. So like we said, over this weekend we'll be heading to the southeast to bring you a clear picture of how the road condition. But let's listen to Mr. Chokon this morning, and after that we'll make sense out of it and then open the phone lines.
The Southeast Corridor, leading from Ganta City in Nimba County through Grand Gita, River G, and onto Maryland County, has been in terrible state. The corridor has been abandoned, making it almost impossible. Neither Charles Taylor, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, nor the WIA regimes could people in southeastern Liberia. According to research, the distance from Ganta in Nimba County to Maryland is more than 400 kilometers or 254 miles. To travel by car, you need approximately 570 minutes or 9 hours to conclude your journey. As we traveled over the weekend, we asked some motorcyclists about how this road condition looked like over the last 20 years from 2003 to 2023.
Like roads around, no beach, you can see highway.
On the highway where you face now?
Yes.
No, the way it feels, how many hours?
You do right, sometimes you make 2 hours, 3 hours then.
Before, if I pick up from Ganta to Swaju, I used to spend 2-3 days on the road before I can reach because of the condition of the road. Before, if I pick up from Ganta to Swaju, I used to spend 2-3 days on the road before I can reach because of the condition of the road.
Despite those terrible experiences, current administration is changing the story of the Southeastern Corridor. The road is now in good condition. Vehicles are no longer getting stuck. The rate of transportation has drastically reduced as the people are once again commuting freely.
Sometimes you make 2 hours, 3 hours then.
How much you use to charge to carry passenger?
One person there, 100,000 there, 9,000 there.
So how much you charge?
The president go down. You can carry for 3,000.
From Ganta to Redden to Swaju, sometimes I spend 4 hours, 30 minutes.
How much you use to charge people to go by the time they go apart?
Whether I used to charge each person from Ganta to Swaju 10,000, 8,000, 9,000.
So how much you charging now?
Right now, from here to Ganta is 5,000, 4,000.
As a result of the road condition, smaller vehicles are now accessing and moving freely into the southeast. Motorcyclists Lawe Dolosin and Alexander Dua, 2 of the 7 cyclists on the Ganta to Zwedru and Tohapo Highway, were thankful to the government for the intervention.
The road is better right now. Everyone we are enjoying the road. What I would say to the government right now is an appreciation.
First day, let us say things appreciation to the government because the first time when we used to leave from Ganta to Swedru, it was not an easy job, brother. difficulty on the road was very bad. But as you can see now, as for me, if I take passing here from Ganta to Can, I spend 4 hours 10 minutes.
Our assessment mission shows how the road is in perfect condition, but the government needs to stand its ground to maintain it in order not to get it back to its previous post-it. It can be recalled, then President George Weah, whose regime styles referred to him as bad road medicine, could not help the situation faced by the region from which he hailed. Report had it that he and many of his officials would normally use the coast to access several counties in the southeastern part of Liberia. From Grangeda County, this is Trokon Repo reporting for OK News.
Okay, many thanks to Chokon Repo reporting for OK News. So Harris, you listen to Chokon and his reportage about the road condition there on the southeast. And Senator Johnson, Prince Johnson, also spoke about similar thing. Delcy.
The rescue team. People that are supported. Because yes, that is good for the city of God. So, but then given the current, the sort of people we have who is the president, after the lack of them, but love to know that he has support. So, we will do our best to give support. What do we see today? We must be thankful today of this time in Liberia. All Liberians, wherever you are, we thankful and give God the praises, the honor, and the glory. It's the first time in history that this government has brought in 285 pieces.
The voice of Prince Johnson there, acknowledging the coming in of the machines and asking people to, Harris, the machine having been deployed on the roads across Liberia, but report is that Liberians have already started commuting easily on the road there, the southeast road corridor. The motorcyclists are appreciating the government. They are saying that we used to charge 10,000, 8,000, but now we are charging 5,000, 4,000, and we appreciate the government for the road. So the coming in of the machines now, if they are deployed on the roads, it becomes a double. It becomes something good, Harris, and it will develop the road more than what we are experiencing today.
Of course, it will, Buckeye, and as well, it will provide several other means for the people of Buckeye, and so that's why you see from one corner to another, Liberians are commending the government for this thing, whether it is left or right or whatever way you want to term it. If the roads have been conditioned, I believe that our productivity will increase gradually, and Liberians will be dependent on their agricultural produce and the activities and everything. Buckeye. So, like you listen to that report, and I was watching the video footage as well. And Buckeye tells you that there are massive improvement. Yesterday we asked Mr. Kelvin Demir as well. He acknowledged that, and so there are more of them. We hope that this thing can be in country as soon. By the end of this year, we'll get hand on deck. We'll start working towards that.
Okay, so we'll open the phone lines now, folks. You can now start placing your calls to the following numbers, and you will be live with us here this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show. For the men, you can call on 0778-665-699. Once again, for the men, you can call on 0778-665-699 or 0880-561644, 0880-561644. Our mothers, our women can call on 0776-549122. For the ladies, 0776-549122. Once again, the women, 0776-549122. Let's go to the phone line and take our first caller here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to Harry.
Yep. Your name, where joining us from?
Yeah, this is for the money will be second month. I do see it for right like Kingsville. Let me appreciate this opportunity for saying the other machine. And let me see this and what I say yesterday. On that Harry, you guys just doing the world. But it's come on, it's Medicaid I was saying. Why? I mean, we are begging you guys. Family, they all not only get a machine, but they are very type of machine coming. Beyond our own city. Telling the people that yes, machine also here for farming. Machine also here for disability.
Okay. I remember. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. We have to take more calls here. 0778665699 or 0880561644. Let's take somebody from here. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
Well, I'm joining from Bensonville, Benton Memorial Garden, Bensonville.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You
equipment. And you know, I mean, for us, for where I'm coming from, my mother home in Pamta, my brother, you don't know how happy the people they are because the road coming from Folklore going to where the of Methodist Bishop Kula from, going all the way to, we got a boat up crossing from over there, you go straight to Jatana, you go in Guinea, from there you go Nima, and then you get a road from that road, from that side going to Gamu all the way to Lofa Way. So if the machine is opening all the roads for all the access, you see people commuting. So we are happy, and we want to tell the government as they're doing this one, then they also be thinking to the agriculture center to bring some machine that will help farmers to do that work. So when the two things come together, my brother, trust me, we'll not be standing around to buy American power while the Indian power rests. We want to do a lot of things. Thank you for elevating the discussion.
Thank you so much. 0778665699 are the lines that you can call. Our mothers, women, that's the women can call on 0776549122. Let's take Sekachipo on this line. Sekachipo, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, PK Kamara. And I would like to say good morning to your colleague there also in studio this morning. For the public, I am the same religious advisor to Senator Nyambli Kanka Lawrence, and I call from Banasville.
My man, you came from Costa Show now to Senator Nyambli Kanka Lawrence?
But Biggie, you are aware that I resigned from the Costa Show during the heat of the 2023 elections. But Costa, that my man still.
Okay.
We fell apart for certain reasons. Having said that, Boakai, thank you for being rational in your discussion as a journalist. You and your colleague people are admiring you greatly. You are well listened to also. Oh, let me go to the point, Boakai. If I hail from the southeast, I can sit where I'm sitting to name all of the towns from Zwedru all the way as far as Maryland. Boakai came down of last week. The woman left from Buipoka weekend and almost arrived here the same day. And she came to me, she did not vote for Boakai. She said, brother, when you used to talk to me, we didn't listen to you. I have people on that side. And all of them have someone so that they say, we will not eat love this time around. Boakai, is that a bad thing for somebody to come from Kaweke, Weipo Kaweke, Kelipo Kaweke, and Rafi Morovia the same day? Those roads was a challenging process to get to Morovia. Before you get to Tabete Boakai, it takes you sometimes 3 or 4 days. So that bad thing today. But you know what we're going to do now? Thank God our people in the south. Boakai, this thing will be simple. Because they put in the south that we got there, I can sit here and call more than 10 persons from those various towns. I know them. I'm from there. I'm not pretending I'm from there. From the river GN. So I know what I'm saying. It was a challenge. My people are so much so they put that when I called them, they couldn't listen to me. Today, they are falling on the wayside. Then you can tell me, say, Musa ability or this person. Boakai, no matter the politics that you're going to do, you know the good thing about it? We got a voting power. And when the majority speaks, you who call yourself a politician as big as you will be, you cannot suppress our vote. Thank you for affording me the time.
Thanks so much. Let's cross over to the diaspora and talk to this person on the WhatsApp number. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Boyka. This is Charles Barkley calling from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, there is something you guys were discussing concerning Minister Numale and Tomo P. Fala.
Yeah.
Based on my personal analysis and assessment of Fala and Numale, there's a game being played.
Mm.
And this is a game that I'm observing, right?
Mm.
Tomo Fala beat Numale in that election. There's a victim in this whole process, but you guys not paying attention.
Mm.
Is the guy, the senator called Jala.
Okay.
Jala was used as a pawn by Fala. Fala used Jala to introduce him to Lofa during the general election. Vala is coming for the next victim. So the game I'm noticing between Numale and Fala, Numale going to rerun for that. Fala going to run against that.
Mm.
So the both of them try to support each other in endeavor. So that will be the next thing in Fala here. Fala is very, very calculative. Fala want to become center. And one of the person you can use is the Minister of Internal Affairs, the county.
Okay.
Numale has a big, very big voter base. Gonna need your money. Jala going to fall victim. Fala going to run against Jala in 2029. Numale going to run for Fala's
seat.
And they both of them they're going to win.
Okay.
Yes. That's the game I'm seeing in Lofa County.
Okay. That's
so that whole thing is between.
Yeah, that's a fair analysis.
Yes. That is why my assessment is telling me.
Okay. Thanks so
much. Yeah, so that's my contribution, guys. Thank you so much for the show.
Yeah, we hope you be participating, my brother. That's the line.
All right.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. From the USA, we cross over to Liberia. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, Harris and Mbwaka. This is Pascal Davis. Sorry that I kept texting you back and forth. That's my opinion. So we say it's grateful that they will even pay 50,000 to come. I mean, to Morovia. It's a thing. I mean, with the report coming from OKFN, Tokon and Kelvin, who is on Nimbad as well. Well, it's good. There's one thing I can say from the Unity Party. Propaganda, they're good. How to hold the media, they're very good. So that one, we can't take it from them. It is the ordinary people who will make the decision. So whether the road is paved, roads are greater, look, we say thank God. The only thing we want, more machine. For me, I said to you the other day on their show last night, I want about 10,000, but please, let's use the law. It's not about today, it's about tomorrow. Forget about Benete being a criminal and blah, blah, blah. See, all in our can get criminal. Everybody in the country, what a Unity Party, what a CDC. There's no party that is as clean as anybody wants to imagine. It's only look, even the prophet, the people who are with Jesus, even the faithful men of God, they all have that shortcoming. See, all the machines are here. Your part to the proper order. The law is the law. Mr. Bwaga became president because the Constitution say when you get one vote all your friends, you're supposed to be president. And that's why we started the Constitution. And he became president. We can't bypass the law because we want development. Not because you want development. So you want to do the wrong thing.
Pascal, you knew anything about Ambassador why we are bringing in 20 yellow machines and were deployed in the rural areas?
What I know about it? Yeah, the Ministry of Public Works stores. We are aware.
Was there any?
I'm aware of
Was
that.
there anything about PPCC or following rule of law?
Of course, the PPCC got involved.
Okay.
The PPCC got involved. The legislation was a part of that.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. I know that all of member you want to entertain me, but thank you, Bwaga.
Thank you so much.
Pascal, I'm making you opposition. Bro. I know you, man.
Let's take this other person on the line. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, my dear brother. Good morning. Good morning to any of the listeners and followers.
Yeah, your name might join us from.
My name is Hussein. I am Hussein Kewu, and I call from Rwanda in District 2. Let me say thank you for the conversation. You know, I firstly want to begin by saying many thanks to the government, you know, for the effort, you know, bringing those earth-moving equipment. We are proud to be a supporter of the government and our party. But I want to remain on the record. While it is true that our president and his court of officials are making all of those efforts, came on a matter of change. And that change, I think, is positive, not a negative. We, our government, and the president have said continuously that it will not be business as usual. We got to change the narrative. The business as usual, what it came about, when those guys, the former government, violated all the laws from the book. And our president came and said, as business as usual. Now, the earth-moving equipment are about to arrive or have arrived in batches. Should we fight? Yes, we will. Should people embrace the machine arriving? Yes, they should. But also support the government should follow the procedures and processes on the book, so that when we shall leave government, people won't say, oh, you say your king did the same thing. We will not do that because we remain Liberia and we are Liberians.
Okay.
I'm appealing to our president and the core officials that all follow the procedures.
Okay.
Let's do the right thing.
All right.
I know the will. Yeah, I know the accordance of doing it. So those who cry will, when those machines and equipment arrive, no opposition like bro. 60 years dead upon arrival, no opposition being like bro.
Okay.
You never have to win perpetually.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's take another person here. Welcome.
Yeah. Good morning, Baka and Harry.
Good morning.
This do for every figure.
Welcome.
Labrador is very interesting. I wonder whether our lawmaker, the 45,000 car in Wado, whether they can come to the people before they take the 45,000 car. I wonder why the concession they can sign. They can come to the people who they sign the concession. So are you telling me that our father do that here for Great Southtown? I will not get way to leave Memorial to go Southtown, because one lawmaker don't want machine. I'm telling this to our president, if you want to bring 1 million machine, bring 1 million machine. The people they are talking about, we are the people. Those guys we elected, why the lawmakers when they doing for Liberia? Those guys go at Capitol Building, everything is by themselves. When someone are protesting, they will say, oh, you go back to John, you guys will go, but they see they don't even right. I hope that you do, even right, everybody to go to bed. The guys are not doing work for our people. The president is bringing machine, not bringing machine to carry to the house. He's bringing machine for the people. So we record that machine. We want the president to bring 1 million of it.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's take another person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, President Parker. Good morning.
Nah, my man, no, don't be doing nothing there. I'm not President Bwaka. I beg you.
Man, you are president.
No. Just Bwaka, man. When you start saying it that way, other people be taking it differently. There's whole show about the party and everything. So, yeah, I beg you, please, just try to understand.
All right, then we'll go. I will call you.
No problem.
Hi, my brother, there with you, too.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, thank you. Let me say thanks to the both of you and to your many listeners, most especially the patriotic one. Voice of T. Patrick Tiwi. I do join you this morning from a Superior Resident District for Montserrat County. Chief, look, for some of us, we were aware and we know the kind of character President Bwaka has because there's an old man who has set on an old mat to plant a new one. Except for those young ones who are coming from the other side, they don't want to sit on the old mat to plant a new one. That is why in 2017, let me just refer your mind to the past. President Bwaka, then he was vice president when he was contesting in 2017. He said, rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3, rule number 4. People who didn't understand it well, when they got to power, they framed it different way. They said it was barrow military around where in which they could not even put even a market bag on the road for people to come and even work on it. So we are aware of President Bwaka road issue because from lack of agent he has been speaking about road. And that is why those yellow machines today you are seeing in this country, those people already in the process. Let me tell you something today. The secret power of that yellow machine. 2017, those machines were already in the process room. But accept Other people who keep actually they want to become president in this country will get a chance. That is why the development of President Parker then were put to her. But that yellow machine was already purchased. Let me tell you what, in the process room. But we say, thank God today, President Parker had come to the light. And that is why we say when President Parker come to the presidency, a lot of people will be exposed. A lot of evil things will be exposed.
Okay.
Number one, the legislator. Let me conclude. The legislator felt that when President Parker take office, definitely you're going to be maybe having some private with them, passing some another brown envelope to be passing. What's that? You are a lawmaker. And that kind of a huge development is coming to your district or your country. Then you sit down there, you say, because the mayor, he not my man, he not my pa, he president, so I can't approve it when you can't would deny people that did it, then they would deny it. Sakoko ne sitting on one side saying it will bring it hot. And this now one person go like what between so and he just retracted his statement. Let me say, President Parker, thank you, and we are with you. What our lawmaker agree, lawmaker not agree, and you with them. All we know our yellow machine are here, starting from that. Starting from September, we'll start distributing it. I will be if on the fact that will be carrying it.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, let me read few of our the comments. Those that follow us through the Facebook page. Those that follow us through the Facebook page. Actually, that's Achip Parkerson said, no one, I repeat, absolutely no one can stand on the way of the yellow machines. That's actually Parker. Mohammed Amara say, he said, I'm Mohammed Amara watching from Police Academy, Pinsville City. Thank you, Ponchafen, for emancipating the minds of our people who are wondering barely about the measures of performance of the 6 months by the JMB administration. Then we come to Coaches Edie say, if a senator or representative that does not want the IVE moving machines on the roads, I beg they should buy their helicopter or bulls to go to where they want to go. Other Liberians appreciate the developments. Let's wait for 2029 if their people will have celebrations for them or for refusing road development. Okay, so we move up to Samuel Kamo Iyekese. I'm watching from Kolahun District, Lofa County. Okay, thanks for following us from Kolahun. That's my area code. Jerry Dobly say, I agree with you guys on the show. Anybody, these yellow machines in Liberia, guys on the show, anybody, this yellow machine in Liberia, blah, blah, blah. President Joseph Newman Boakai, can you please use your veto power? All right. So we come to Shedrack Gongwe. He said, I'm watching live from Yekepa currently. Then we come to Cliftos Mase, foreign live from Greenville City, Sano County. Jerry Doble say, I agree with you guys on the, okay, I just read that. Then we come to Masu P. Gay say, okay, I will start following. All right, so more messages coming in. Good morning, that's Miracle. Okay, and Olive Weaver say, I'm watching live from District Number 2, Grand Bassa County. Maurice Balase, you guys are too smart. Jacob Bantu say, I'm watching from Tapeta. People follow from Nimba. Charles Barkley say, please open a line. The lines operate. Mr. Musa Hassan Belete will live to see the yellow machines working. All right. So, I thought Connor say, it's called sacrifice. Now you you're looking for something. Yaya say, I'm firing from Cinco. Okay, so more. Bibra Bill Carson say, yellow machines noise is all about kickback. All right, that's your take. Stu Sagasha say, I love the way I'm in which President JMB exposing these guys who doesn't want to know or see this country moving forward. All right, Julius Conner say, you citizens are pushing for procedures because you want to vote against the government decision of bringing in those machines. When you citizens become law abiding, when you guys become law abiding, All right, so we have the last one. Jito Kamara say, Harris and Boakai, thanks so much for this great show. We will accept these machines, law or without law. Where were the law when the 30 million stimulus package was mismanaged? Where were the law when the 25 million map up exercise was stolen? Law my left toes. Okay, Jito. All right, so folks, we'll stop it there. We're still taking your calls 0778-665-699. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Your name is joining us from.
And let me say good morning to your co-host. This is for some Prince Kolake. And I phone from the Integrity Avenue, District 5, respectively. So I think it was an action of a child. And for long, I have stopped witnessing people a huge jubilant mood when it comes to citizens gathering along the road to celebrate what is entering in the country. And that which brought tears to my eyes because it is something that is first of its kind for me to have witnessed such a thing. But on the flip side, I think people that are making the argument that the government need to give us more information as to where they got the resources from, as to which agreement that was reached before we are witnessing such a huge air-moving equipment entering the country. They are also right. The government owe an explanation, and like the songwriter said, the culture of silence, it is not good. You leave even your supporter with a lot of speculation. Even the rescue Rambo then that is currently in the country, when you ask them, they don't know where to start from. So it will only be a hole and pull. I'm asking the government. Some of us are 100% in favor of that machine. Like I said, it is good. It will benefit us from NIMA. The 19 pieces is okay. Every country, any country that don't want it, you can add it to ours because our country is big. But equally so, the government has taken a long time to respond to the public outcry and to the so many questions.
All right.
So they should come up, let us know the source of all of those things to end all of those speculations.
Thanks so much.
Thank you this morning for the opportunity.
Thanks so much. Let's take this caller. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. Eric Ball here.
Eric Ball, welcome to the show.
Thank you. The news that I hear from OKM reporter is applaudable. And I think Liberia is headed in a positive direction. And those roads were not paved by cutlasses or shovels, but it was done by the same moving machines that people are having problems, with coming in the country today. Look, when I was a little boy, I'm of age now. When I was a little boy, there was no time in this country that any road got spoiled. All the roads were all good, in very good condition. Every village were reached by motor cars, people goods. Yes, their fruits could never spoil. I mean, they were able to get benefit from whatever they sold. And so the ice-moving machines that are in the country, well, those of you that want it in your county, give it to us. We will add it to whatever is there for us to be able to carry on massive.
No, they must give it to Lufa. We probably want it.
No, but yeah. But then we can divide it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what human beings really want, because I listened to the stuff you read from Bodete's post. When you talk about there's a line, in the budget providing for that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why they contradicting themselves. If there is a portion in the law that says, presidential project can be addressed, then why are they having problem with that? Look, I saw people really jubilating on Saturday.
Yeah, but the second batch will soon be in town. Very soon.
So, like I said, if they don't want it, maybe whatever they don't want can be divided on
Lofa and Nima. Okay, Elokbo, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Let's take somebody else. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Boakai, and your colleague in studio with you.
Good morning.
My name is Niton Toba, calling from my comfort zone in the Outland community, Tukorobia.
Okay, welcome, Niton.
Thank you. Let me first say thank you to you guys for the splendid, information you share with us this morning.
Is this the first time to call on the show?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I'm so happy to call today.
Yeah, we hope you be following the show, my man, so you can be calling too.
Definitely. And look, let me say this. You guys gave us information. If I were you guys, I would not give that information to the public. Which have to do with CDC internal ranking. CDC know the figure of a Musa Hassan Berete, but they sit back and close their eyes. For me, I believe that we should just allow CDC make this blunt of a mistake by allowing Musa take control over their party. At the end of the day, while it will pin there, it will suit us. They sat down, they saw what Musa Sabede did to the CPP. King and brought a lot of division, and one of you joined behind Liberty Party and support the people, entire party, ran away from there. Going to join your party, getting credence. Look, don't say this again. Just allow it be, let it sit down and see it happen. 2029, we will be happy to see that downfall. We'll be very happy. Let me be clear with that. And then next to this, the machine issues. For us, we are happy. I'm from Lofa County, to be precise. Anybody who feels that the machine issue is not something that is commendable, I tell you that you are just enemy of progress. You are against the development of this country. So if you are from any county, you feel that, oh yeah, the machine here, it is not coming legal, they don't need it. Look, Lofa need about 37 or 40 of it. Stay 50 there and we'll say thank you for refusing it. If my grandpa they don't want to send to Lofa, we'll like it. We'll use it there and we'll develop our county. And once again, I say thank you, God. I will always follow and I will always try to make my contribution.
All right. Thanks so much for calling in this morning, my brother. 0778. I don't know. I'm not calling this morning. The ladies, your line is 0776 549122 for the women, 0776 549122. The men, 0778 665 699. Now we'll take this person. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Kawi. I call him for the academy.
Welcome, Mr. Kawi.
Yeah. You know what Mozambique better do to your own people in Nima? After our civil war, the man would go play, somebody who would be out there, but you don't get paper. After they call Nimba meeting in Kanda, went there, the others will bring paper. Some of them will not get paper for the place. So they couldn't give it to them. Then Ellen said, okay, they think, yeah, we don't want that. Then Ellen said, okay, I will get money for you, I'll get money to you people. Musa Belete, they were print any woman to get money to print on the print, say no, get money to Musa Belete. They get that man that money. He never get the poor correct money. That Musa Belete made that fuck. He never get the poor money. And the poor were promoting. If they should get 3,000 to one person, so I get 2,000. The other bad money, he took it. So we know in Nimakane, we know he could. That he trying to do a divine rule that for nothing. Nobody got time for him.
Okay.
Because a guy is writing machine, so he go over there, go do the poor Jaja role. Then he go bring machine for people to develop our country. Then he talking where you know to talk.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for calling in. Let's move over to our runaway friend. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, PK. Good morning to
Alai.
But man, I haven't been very well for some time, yeah, but that's why I've been so quiet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Welcome back.
Yeah, but you said too, you haven't been checking.
My man, I used to listen to you calling on other radio stations, and so that one, no problem.
Go ahead. but man, I want really that the people really station we get run. Yeah, but Baka and that of Billy, let me say good morning to the both of you and good morning to the great people of Liberia. This is the voice of Samuel Sakara Johnson. I speak to you from Painesville this morning. Look, BK, any individual in this country who will stay in the wake of development that will benefit the downtrodden masses of the people, they are broad day wish of this country. Look, BK, today people talking about people, yeah, we must take into consideration the law, but yet then still, the law also provides for where President Baka said this is a presidential project. What will you do? At the end of the day, people like Musa. Look, let me say this like I told some guys yesterday at the intellectual center. There's a fundamental reason why you see people like Berete in the government on the basis of the year. You know, in the entire neighbor country, Berete is the lion in the jungle that have yellow machine and no other lawmaker. At the end of the day, Baka, this man has subjected almost all of his colleagues. You see his colleagues begging him to use his yellow machine to go to other county. He's using this one yellow machine to gain popularity at the expense of the people of Nima County, so that tomorrow he may want to become a senator. So his fear is having 280 more yellow machines coming into Liberia, that Nima County alone will have more than 10 or 15 or 20 yellow machines. It becomes, one yellow machine will become infinitesimal to the people, to the people's quest. So if you see these kind of people standing today in the wake of development, look, it is extremely shameful on the part of people that Berete there who are right on the government of our society today. And today they are at the level of the House of Representatives. But let me say this in conclusion. Look, this is now a national debate, a national challenge between the House of Representatives and the ordinary people of this country. Because you know what, the ordinary people need development in their various constituents. The order in Bogonji, the order in Fisebu, in Mahuta.
Okay, all right, somewhere.
At the end of the day, the $5,000, right? For the 5,000, you go get it $10,000. Get this, and at the end of the day, you say that there should be no machine. This is a challenge, and we are watching the House of Representatives.
Okay, thanks so much, my brother. Thank you, and speedy recovery, my man. All right, thanks so much. We take some more calls. 0778-665-699, 0778-665-699, or 0778. It is 5616440. Let's go back to the phone line and talk to this person. Our mothers can call on, the women can call on 0776-549122. Good morning, welcome.
Morning, Boyka. Let me say morning to your main listener this morning, Boyka, and to your co-host. Boyka, there is glory about Menska. I followed discussions on District 6 this morning at the Kuburu. It's so pathetic and very, very disgusting for a PDT, a political entity, PDT, who goes to the CDC or meditate retreat, living as a chairman, living even this is better. The whole thing to control as a liberty partisan. Because when it comes to liberty partisan in this country, even though the party is divided in political classes, but he is not the face, but he claims to be like he is the face to CDC, sending a communication to attend a militant day, and at the same time, he disrespected those guys who betrayed the Liberty Party, the leaders of Martin Kula and others. See where they are, and they disrespected them. And he went for that militant day. And many of them in their chat room, we saw them. The Elojara, the Martin Kula, the Ulusmo, all of them were very angry that they never met with this, even explain these things today. So, ability will not just stay in the government to buy sentiment because this government is the metro government. This government will address the nation and the people. That's going to be the first time in the history of the country to see a best president breathing the country. These things are not happening in the history of the country.
Okay.
If we see Minister James a day activities of the country, it is happening now. So the government is mature enough to handle their own situation. So people shouldn't be around here, contemplating no. The government is not going to do anything. The government will tell you where the mission came from, and every country is responsible to benefit. Thank you, Bwaga.
Thank you so much, my brother, for calling in and be a part of the conversation this morning. We're still taking your calls, and at any moment from now, our guest come, we'll take him. That's the deputy minister, right? Yeah, for technical services at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, in person of Larimer Yentom. He will be here as our guest. Let's take this person. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, and good morning to your colleagues in Liberia. My name is Sylvester. I'm from Johnson. Even to call the other day on different issues, you guys have made a statement. Your company.
No. You said you made a statement. We cut you off.
That's not an issue. Discuss what is ongoing right now.
No, the problem are there. Probably you say something, but we don't normally call people off here. Probably you said something. Your way of saying it. That's what led us to cut you off. But we don't normally call people off here, and you yourself know that.
Yeah, but in the absence of insult, whatever somebody says on the radio,
go ahead. Go ahead, make a point. Go ahead.
Okay, so now my call this morning is in line with the issue of the yellow machine coming to Liberia. Right, told people on so many occasions in this country that this country to develop it left with the president. Because the power of the president in this country is immense. The one rating for the branches of government we see is a documentary. So now, let's say, for instance, the machine that came. If the lawmakers sit and say, this machine, the process was not fair, it was not this, I think there are so many ways that they can handle it and it can still work in the right direction. But to uprightly say, let's reject it, it's against the citizen. And I think the president and the entire government have no headache in it. They are left with we, the citizen, to deal with them. These machine issues are well welcoming for our country because there are places where our people come from, my brother. When you see where they come from, how they struggle with road, the country is too old for those kind of things. So when machine come in the country for to use it, nobody should be able to. The lawmaker doing a lot of shitty deeds that are passing here. We have seen it. We are not crazy. We the citizen. We are very wise. We know what is right for us. There are things that happen. You say, okay, this is lessons of the evil. I think the machine issue should be the lessons of the evil if we put two of the evil, like the horse of parliament attitude in this country.
Okay.
So that is, we need it. Nobody can stop it. So let me make one recommendation to the government when it comes to the usage of the machine. The major problem in this country is maintenance. I have not seen any government facility, government property that is well maintained in this country. And to come to talk about moving equipment, this is something that the cost of maintenance is not a joke. So my recommendation to the government for the uses of this equipment for the perfect use of it is the government should identify construction company in this country that have asset. Let them get a bond. The bond is the asset that they own. Let government distribute it to them for the purpose of using it, and whatever tax government gives to them when they complete the tax, they can take delivery of the machine in the end.
All right. Thanks so much, my brother, for calling in. We have to make way for other people to participate. Let's take this caller here quickly. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Hello. Oh, I don't know what's happening to your line, but let's come back and take this caller here. Good morning.
Good morning, boy guy. Alex Gaga calling for Bagley Mission Field.
Welcome, Alex.
Yeah, Gaga, the thing simple. The Liberia people voted over immaturity. When they don't start, we get rowdy, people will go to the capital building. If you don't start, you're not getting us out. So, that's only
how you want to do your own?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother, for calling in. Let me take this person here quickly. The person been calling. Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Hello?
Yeah, welcome. Your name, where you joining us from?
I am 16-year-old in Grand Cape County, originally from Lufa County.
16-year-old?
Yeah.
Like your name is 16-year-old?
That's my name.
Okay, go ahead, 16-year-old. You are live on the radio. How is Grand Cape Man?
Grand Cape County is very, very good indeed. We all are fine this morning.
Okay. Make your contribution and you are live on the radio.
Thank you. I just want to know that those who are talking about the machine business here, the senator, the representative, and some other politicians, I want to ask them, how many things have they brought in this country here that the people of Liberia will enjoy it and benefit out of it?
Nothing.
I'm saying that they work only for their pocket. But the man who just there for 6 months, little less than 6 months, he able to bring machines so that we all can work and do something better for our country. They just talking all kind of things about it. What have they done?
Yeah, but Yeke was there to your play that they feed the man or telling you not to accept the machine. And Yeke was to your feed it.
Yeke came in a place. He know why I told him in person. Yeke Koliba, I know his father from Lufa County. What part of Lufa County I'm talking about? Zozo district. They from right behind Zolowo in a bush there. What have he carried down there? What have he carried down there? Nothing. I told him in person, the job he's looking for now, we should elect him here as a senator or representative. He just coming here for nothing. Nobody will vote for that man because we already know his character. I told him over here once, in Loma, the people say, actually, that man is not a good man to do. And I listened to Sekou this morning, Sekou Sharif, over a radio station, talking a lot of blunder that the man, when he borrowed the machine, this, that. Even if the president go and see, excuse me for saying that, see that machine and bring it to Liberia, that the Liberian people should benefit out of it, we appreciate it.
Okay.
But they are there in the government, they're not doing nothing. We're sorry we elected some of them or voted for them to become a senator or representative. Thank you.
Thank you so much from Grand Cape County. Yeah, so we take more calls. Let's take Pangomo Kamara this morning. Pangomo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka. Marka, who can't judge you for me, stupid? You're not the wrong judge for this stupid. They represented a kind of stupid view. They pass in their pocket. We know that. But in particular one year, we the 4 selling thing, we our own day, a big land. They are on the okay due, that they pass it, without no more. They want you will benefit in it. A big end. And they don't want this great. That then lead our own share. They have been taking millions of dollars. And my girl, I listened to him last night on Spoon. I will defend anything that's coming for development. And why was he, McGill, when he was Minister of State? Was it that when Minister of State was stealing all money, McGill was condemned? I was $35 million more. McGill was condemned. That it was legal. And we have 40 pieces of machine. According to McGill, we are saying 40 new brand machine. Who did declare, who said the radio show that they declare it? They declare to PDC, they declare to NFA, they declare to police, whoever heard it. That last night was surprised, I heard that McGill said 40 pieces of machine. But people, they want you for we the poor people here.
Okay.
We not got nothing for our share. I'll give my little one. When the father around the machine here, with the mother from them.
Thanks so much, Pak Gobo Kamara. We take our final call. Then we have our guest there with us already, Mr. Larimer. That's Minister Larimer Yanton. He's with us this morning. So we will take one more person on the line. Then we take him here this morning. That will take us up until 9 o'clock. So 077866569. It'll be a fascinating discussion this morning surrounding a wide range of issues that are trending in our body politics this lovely and good Tuesday morning. So if there's no call, then we transition. Harris?
Of course. Yeah, we transition, move straightly into our discussion. We'll go for commercial shortly, Hawkeye. Just in a space of 30 seconds or a minute.
Let me see. Let me go directly to it quickly. Trying to. All right. So I'm trying to get it. Sorry there. Okay.
Yeah, is it? All right.
Your real property taxes. Your real property taxes.
My people, you don't hear it? The LRA people, the people then that can collect government taxes, they say that it's time now to pay your real estate tax. Whether you get horse or you get land in a city or outside the city, the LRA people say that it's time to pay your tax from now to July 1 this year. The people from the LRA will be in your community to tell you everything you need to know. So look out for them. They will come and teach you everything you need to know about paying your taxes for your properties. Just cooperate when you see them in your community. In your knowing, when you pay tax, all of us can enjoy. When you pay your tax on your land or your house, the government will do plenty fun things for all. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
You can pay even when you living uptown. Your real property taxes. Your real property taxes.
And they pay your real property taxes. Welcome back to the continuation of the show. Folks, the Pawns Breakfast Show, like we told you, our guest has already joined us. We move strictly into the discussion. We're going to have up to 10 o'clock this morning, wide range of issues we're going to look at on the conversation this morning, folks. But it's good to have him on. Yeah, he's always part of what. Yeah, this is not his first time appearing on the Punch Breakfast Show, especially when the need be for to have conversation on lots of issues relative to the growth and development of the country. Of course, we bring him on when we have this discussion, and it's great to have him on this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Barker. It's a pleasure being here. I want to say thank you for having me, and thank you to the management of Punch FM for all they do in participating in the national discourse, especially when it comes to the dissemination of factual information to our people, which is so desperately needed at this time.
Okay, so we move on again. I want to give you the time for our listeners, those listening. At times, we run over the introduction, but it's good to you guys, especially when we bring the guests on. You better give us the introduction that suits you as well, so that our audience can be a part of. A better acquaintance with you.
Well, my name is Larimer Yanton. I am the Deputy Minister for Technical Vocational Education and Training at the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay, we move on. Here's he's the Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, folks. So move on. How has work been of recent? It has been a really, we see it across all different government ministries and agencies since the president, have you guys appointed, getting the ball rolling. It has been a really, really challenging one for you guys. How has it been of recent?
Well, I would say it's been hectic. As a government, knowing where we took over the nation from, 6 long years of ruthlessness, a prior government that had no regard for the law and was, doing things not in the best interest of the Liberian people. And so we had a complete collapse. The equivalency of that could be compared to the state of the nation after the 14-year civil war. So we had a nation to rebuild after 6 years in the absence of gunfire, but massive economic looting, corruption, and you name it. And so across all of the government ministries, agency, and commission, the president did quite amazing in putting together a team that is a reflection of some of the finest patriots we've ever seen, reflection of people with the right pedigree and credential and experience to lead institutions, and to help those who are leading institutions, the deputies and assistants, in ways that they bring tech to the sector in which they hit. For me particularly, I'm concerned with technical and vocational education and training across Liberia, being the highest ranking TVET official in the country. Clearly we realize that not only has the sector evolved over the last 10 years or so, but the challenges were massive and enormous, thereby overweighting on the purse of our donors and partners, in the absence of the lack of demonstrated political will over the last 6 years. And so what we did immediately was to restore the confidence of our donors and partners, who have been massively investing approximately over 60 million over the last years.
Over 60 million in the last 10 years.
Yeah, a combined portfolio over 60 million.
The combined portfolio over 60 million in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, are there traceable evidence to do, the funds directed towards TVET in this country that we can point to? If we go across the country, perhaps if our donors wanting to do an evaluation of the funds they have sent in this country over for the period of time you just spoke of.
Yeah, sure. So there are many different ways that interventions within the sector have been made. The first is the governance and coordination mechanism, to ensure that TVET has one goal, one direction, one policy direction, and that has been effectuated. You have the Ministry of Youth and Sports with a department of TVET, and also the Ministry of Education with a department. So the way we coordinate is essential, and one of the ways to do that is to ensure that there is a national TVET policy, and vis-a-vis a national TVET implementation operational plan. And the first ever national TVET policy was written and validated, and that was the policy between 2015 to 2020. Through the CAP ED program, UNESCO and other partners invested a lot of money into that exercise. The development of different policy requires nationwide consultation, and when those consultations are made, stakeholders will still come together to do what they call validation of the document that has been produced out of those consultations and review process. So that underwent the process. Unfortunately, not much was done to ensure the implementation of the 2015-2020 national TVET policy. So every 5 years, as a sector, we meet and review some of the progress.
And brainstorm on this.
Yes, based on the defining aspirations, based on these goals and objectives that we set forth as a sector to achieve. And so in 2021, 2022, there was a need to not just update the outdated TVET national policy, but also to look at some of the challenges that cause almost no implementation at all, given the first policy document. And so stakeholders, our partners met, and we came with a revision of the 2015-2020 TVET national TVET policy, and then revive it, validated it, and now we have the revised national TVET policy that is taking us between now and 2027.
Up to 2027.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the beauty of that is that we have been, since we took over, we have been able to formally endorse the revived national TVET policy document. There has been set up what we call the Interministerial Task Force, TVET Task Force, and that task force met on the 5th of June. The Ministry of Youth and Sports co-chair, the Ministry of Education co-chair. We had the Ministry of Commerce represented, Labor represented, the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism represented, and quite a few partners. And we, at that IMTTF meeting, we formally endorsed the work that was being done before us, that we met, but also with a commitment to fully implementing every objective of the revised national TVET policy.
But were there processes for review prior to you guys overwhelmingly endorsing, the document you met on hand? Thinking over, perhaps you want to do your evaluation as a new administration to understand if what the previous administration had already documented, aligns with your agenda as well for the TVET sector.
Yeah, there was a process of revision before the endorsement.
Okay.
So the stakeholder ministry had enough time. It's not just the revised national TVET policy. We also endorsed the national standardization framework and the quality assurance tools. So those are policy documents that are very vital to the progress that is needed within the TVET sector. And so one thing I would like to stress is that we're moving to now planning around the official launcher of the national TVET policy, which when all of the planning efforts are made and the communication with the office of the president now will officially launch interaction, the revised national TVET policy.
Are you still enjoying the confidence of your foreign partners, the donors as well, into this process?
Very well. Well, we have shown that can be trusted. As a government, we have shown that we mean business, and quite a few times we've heard in the corridors when we are dealing with our partners that simple things you agreed on. The donors and partners having validation workshop, and the government ministry responsible or the department responsible within that ministry to represent the ministry and vis-a-vis the government of Liberia don't show up. We have been very timely. We've been very involved with every aspect of the running of the sector, along with our partners, and we have shown up on many occasions at different policy validation workshop, at different training workshops, at different planning meetings to ensure that we are not just there as a government to be at the receiving end from our partners, but to ensure that we have vested interests. What TVET represents is the over 75% of young people that constitute the single largest segment of our population. And if we are not in tune with our overall national aspiration to ensuring that we are able to close skills gaps, deal with the issue of unemployment and poverty among these young people, then we don't deserve to be in this capacity that we occupy.
Okay, folks, we have Deputy Minister for TVET Education at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Mr. Lara Mayonton is our guest this morning on the second segment of the Punch Breakfast Show. I'm particular, and I have waited this time to ask you. I was reading through when I came across the Liberia Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau. I mean, this appeared totally strange to me. I mean, it was like it's something. I'm saying something altogether new. I mean, new to me, and I've been wondering as to the specific function of this institution. I believe it falls with the Ministry of Youth and Sports as well, or perhaps the Ministry of Agriculture, but it provides technical and vocational education as well. I mean, have you come across, or are you aware of the existence of this institution?
Well, the AITB, just from a historical context, came into being on the PRC regime.
Okay.
It came into being through an executive order of 51, creating the AITB. And we have to also understand the time. That was some 43 years ago.
Okay.
Geopolitically, most of the countries at the time was moving into industrialization. And the focus of donors and partners at the time were in those areas. And while agriculture, for example, was being viewed as the primary way to which we can, and still does in some extent, but the primary ways to which we can alleviate poverty and create economic wealth. And so the focus was primarily on agriculture in the context of industrialization. Again, 43 years later, what we have now as a sector is a broadened mechanism to which we have added a dozen of other trade areas.
Okay.
We have carpentry, we have plumbing, we have electricity. We are moving to now teaching solar and industrial electricity. These are areas that we have expanded. So one of the conversations we have been having, especially as it relates to the ongoing exercise for the passage of the Liberia TVET Commission, is that once the Senate concurs with that, the House recently passed the bill, and so once the Senate concurs with that, there will have to be placed a provision within that law that by the coming into force of the Liberia TVET Commission, the AITB is automatically, dissolved.
Okay.
Because we don't want duplication of efforts. And the fact that AITB still exists for many years, many presidents in Liberia did not appoint anyone, for that matter, to head AITB or structure a team at that level. But the president saw in his wisdom to do that, but not to come in conflict with the exercise that we met over the last 10 years as far as expanding TVET, expanding infrastructure and access of our different trade areas to a larger population of our young people. And so by coming into being with the TVET Commission, the AITB will cease to exist.
So when the AITB ceases to exist, what becomes of those workforce that are already with the institution? The last time I had the Director General on the show, he acknowledged that there are limited workforce at the institution. A couple of them, a lot of them are aging as well. And there was a need that the government looks in that direction. Now that if the conversation surrounds the commission is in full swing and is being implemented, I mean, I'm thinking about a workforce, like for instance, the director who just recently got appointed by the president. Are there plans along the way that the commission will have those individuals that are working with the AITB factored part of the commission?
Definitely, there are ongoing discussions as it relates to that. In my estimation, I don't have the exact number based on the payroll size of the AITB, But the workforce does not exceed 10 persons,
Mhm.
and more than 90% of those people are of the retirement ages at this moment. And so it it goes without saying that we have to have these ongoing conversations around how we can build synergies and incorporate young folks who have the talent and will to contribute to the onward march of the sector.
Okay, so we move across now, Boakai. Before you come in, let's look at currently as it stands with the TVET institutions across the country, and out of which the technical vocational education, we want to place a lot of emphasis on. Later, we're going to transition to other national politics as well, which we will wrap up with. I'm concerned. You've been ahead of the government eye, across TV education. I know of recent you have had interaction with a lot of different TV institutions, perhaps students as well are attending TV institutions in this country. I mean, you care to tell us and how the conversation has been both from administrators of the different TV institutions, instructors as well, and that of the students. I mean, the different reactions, and in terms of the environment, in terms of sourcing funding to fund all of the different programs there, and some of the challenges they are encountering as we speak.
So we are working exceedingly to improve the learning environment across all of our centers. Through our partners, UNIDO and the Youth Rising Project, we've been basically making interventions as far as infrastructure, the building of different trade workshops and production units. When you went to the Monrovia Vocational Training Center today, there is a modern state-of-the-art, carpentry workshop.
Okay.
The same with those who were doing mechanic. So
it was there before you guys took over.
Yes, some of the workshops are already equipped.
Okay.
There are quite a few of them that is currently being equipped through the help of our partners, UNIDO. And so we're working on in a conducive environment. But it's important to stress that most of the young people who have exceeded the formal learning ages and decided to take the pathway of TVET are not young people who are economically viable.
Okay.
These are struggling young people. And we have to think long-term in the direction of how we can mitigate between these young people who are struggling and cannot afford and an institution that is charging, anywhere around 16,000 Liberian dollars or 150 USD for registration. And it's something that we as leaders in the sector have been having, frank conversation around. I think it wouldn't help or hurt when the government is able to provide more than just an enabling space, but also scholarship of quite a few of these young people. Currently at NVDC, we have almost 50% of the population, enrolled population of students that are on scholarship, government scholarship. We're still looking at ways we can structure that and make it more effective and expand and build on
Are
that.
you proposing a free tuition policy, perhaps across all?
Not necessarily. I think what we can do is to begin with some level of financial assistance for people who are struggling to be able to actualize the full potential.
Has that hindered their performances across the different institutions?
Well, I would say if you have social issues as a young person going to any of the technical and vocational centers, it hinders your performance. I had a couple of meetings with quite a few young people that we scholarship when we took over, and they had to come to the office, I think 3 or 4 times. And in one of those meetings, the young man said, "Chief, to get here can be easy. Yeah, struggle to get here. So if we can find a way to which we can just wrap up these many meetings into 1 or 2, it will really help us, right?" So people have that natural instinct to improve their lives. They are determined to do something. But the economic realities are the economic reality. Things are hard on our young people, and it is up to us as policymakers to create that environment through which, in spite of where you are economically, you can still, raise that moment and do something and better your life.
Okay, Baka, you want to come?
Yeah, I've been following the conversation, and it's mind blowing when you have people that are capable of doing a job in a position. They will come with all of the information to their fingertip. And Larman Yanton is one person that have been doing extremely well at the TVET, the Ministry of Youth and Sports. But let's focus on youth outside of Montserrado County. What do they stand to benefit? Because this shouldn't be just about a Monrovia or Montserrado based thing. Let's focus on the Leeward counties. How soon will you be reaching out to the youth in counties, probably Cape Mount, Bombay, and other places?
So the Ministry of Youth and Sports supervises 7 TVET institutions, and if you did this aggregation geographically, we have presence in Montserrado, Bombay, Bond County, Sino, across the 7 institutions. We have also been working with our partners through the phase 1 of the Youth Rising project, whose primary aim was to ensure that there's a presence of TVET in each of the counties. And that project has been working very, very well. And so we are concerned about people, in places like Zenzu, Bond County, leaving from there, wanting to come to Monrovia to access technical and vocational education. So we are taking it to them in the county. Initially, when MVDC was built, it was built with a dormitory, a boys and girls dormitory, with the hope that there may be people outside of Montserrado that will be very interested in coming to MVDC, right? And then they can stay in the dormitory. But now with the presence of Tumutu Agricultural Training Center in Bon County, someone from Bon County now will easily go to Mutu to be able to better their lives and to get some training.
Yeah, people from Lofa also can go there.
Yes. In Lofa, we have a combined partnership with the Vonchama Multilateral High School, which is under the Ministry of Education, by the way. But there is a TVET component that the school runs and manages. I was in Lofa quite recently, a month ago, and I thought the facility is very, very impressive, very massive. Again, we are moving in the direction where we can have the presence of TVET in each of the 15 counties. Yeah.
Yep. So we want to transition now.
Yeah. Before transition, someone is concerned about what's the current KROTTR.
Well, the KRTDR is not.
That's the Kakata Road Teacher Training.
So the KRTDR is under the Ministry of Education. But however, I would say that one of the challenges we've had was mapping up a whole host of teacher training institutions across the country, right, for formal learning purposes. However, there was a long period of gap in which we did not have a single TVET specific teacher training institution. So quite recently, through partnership with BWR, we now have the first ever TVET teacher training center, which is also being empowered to carry on different research and professional studies, specifically in the area of TVET. So we have, I think, the first cohort. The graduation of the first cohort quite recently. I was there. I attended the graduation ceremony, and so we are moving in that direction where we can build on the success of that teacher training institution, specifically tailored to TVET trainers.
All right, so folks, you are listening to the voice of Deputy Minister Larama Yonton of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and we are talking a wide range of issues when it comes to technical services in our country and the impact on youth development in Mama Liberia. So, Mr. Yonton, let's transition. You now we're coming into the political aspect of our conversation now this morning. You've been following, and
you have to shift on your left a bit to be on the camera on your left a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to shift. Okay, it's okay. You went too far again. Just okay, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay.
All right. So, my question was that we are now into this issue about politics, and you've been following the first 100 days of the president came and passed, is gone. And the president talked about road development and talk about a lot of issues, most especially cars will be stuck in mud. And there have been a wide range of issues making news in our body politics. Let's begin with the issue about the 100-day. From your own perspective, how do you see, how can you grade the president's performance?
Well, the president did exceedingly great, if I would say. We got it by a defining national aspiration to leave Liberia better than we met it. And this is no joke. When His Excellency Joseph Yoman Boakai says to the Liberian people, think Liberia, build Liberia, and love Liberia, and together let's build Liberia. It is a radical call for all Liberians that together we have a responsibility, not just as a government, but as citizens, to work around the government on critical national issues, on critical thematic issues that will help to advance and improve our lives. We are in the space where we are governing. We are making decisions every day for the 5.3 million people. We are not in politics. 2029 is definitely going to come. But right now, we are focused on delivering on our promises. And it was clear that the first 100 days was celebrated. We made some successes. At the Ministry of Youth and Sport, we graduated 123 at-risk youth. You know that the president is very concerned about the surge of drugs abuse and usage among young people. As a matter of fact, he constituted a national task force to the effect that included the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Ministry of Health, and the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. So we have made some steady progress over time. Not just graduating 123 of those at-risk young people, but we are at a phase where we are now developing a multi-year plan as far as the secretariat around that task force and planning actively to roll out the pilot phase of the SUD substance intervention for these at-risk young people, and enable them also the opportunity for livelihood training in tailoring and other vocational training opportunities. So on that aspect, no young person will look at the government and say, he has not impacted my life. Because if you understand the number of families that helps behind 123 at-risk young people, it's a whole host of families that benefited. They were so proud on that day to see the transition of their kids from being taken from the ghetto, being detoxed, and move on to being productive citizen. It's a milestone. In other sectors, we have definitely made inroads. The president intimated to the nation and the people of Liberia that in the first 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. Right? It was perfectly executed. Major road corridors were fixed. I went to Lofa a month ago, and the road, you can sleep while the driver takes you, and you will not.
Is that how good the road is?
That's how good it is, and you will not feel any bumpy, and a need to have some swollen body or something. So the process is on. We are committed to leaving the legacy that no government in post-conflict Liberia has left. And Barker as a president is committed to that.
It's just less than 6 months. You're so convinced that that could happen under this administration.
I'm very convinced. In fact, at all levels, especially if you did this aggregation of the representation of young government officials in this government, we constituted around 36-37%. And at all levels, everyone is doing the job perfectly, seriously. I go to work by 7:30 in the morning. I don't leave from there sometimes until around 6:37. That is how invested we are in making sure that the president is not alone in this policy and leading the vision for the country. But we are now also at the periphery of governance. We are now providing the technical know-how to ensure that each sector triumphs.
A lot of folks, Bwaka, before you come in relations to your question, Bwaka, when I listened to you ask the deputy minister on the president 100 days and whether within the first 100 days of the president or President Bwaka administration, whether there are progress been made. And when I listened to him, said there are a series of very huge one has been achieved. I mean, critics of the government will say that President Bwaka 100 days as well, it's not that commendable evidence by you want to talk about the president in the first 100 they initiated the government. I'm saying the 400 they committed his government to accountability and transparency, evidenced by the establishment of the asset recovery task force. Today we see whether or not there are progress been made. There is still a question. Within the president 100 days, critics will say that the president embarked on perhaps disobeying the rule of law, evidenced by the removal of 10 new officials or the suspension of 10 new officials. I mean, when different accounts start to flow, his critics or critics of the administration will critically look at the Bwaka's administration within the first 100 days as a merely a targeted government kind of ruling system, other than what you say.
Well, I don't agree with critics, and that's what make critics critics. Those are folks of the eye that had the opportunity to run and manage the state, and they abused the opportunity. We are focused on the real aspect of governance. The president worked on the Supreme Court decision as it relates to the LTA situation. However, there was a pending GSA audit on LTA that the president decided that he will build on and send those people for investigation, for the examination. I don't think it's outside of the law. It's in keeping with the constitutional mandate of the presidency. So we are very. There are quite a few ministry, agency, and commissions that are doing audits of their, since they took over of their ministry, and there is this sweeping wave of payroll audit across the 105 spending across, and you're seeing some massive relief as the result of those payroll audit that has been conducted by the CSA. So yeah. We are doing everything in keeping with the law, but you can see that there has been tremendous progress. When you have when you take over government with a bloated payroll, up to this point, our people, our United Party people, our rescue base have been complaining, Bwaka, that we are keeping citizens in key position. Now, the intentionality of governance is not to remove people in the business of party. But if we can have our own people at this point still complaining, that tells you we are not a government that witch hunts. We are a government that follows the rule of law and proper procedures.
Yeah, and that's been one of the issues. I know you guys are really under pressure from supporters of the party on the issue about employment. A lot of people, up to now, we haven't been employed, and we're seeing citizens are in the positions that we should be serving in. I know it's a serious issue.
It is. The pressure mounts every day. Initially when you take over, there's this honeymoon period that people just wait and see. But we've gone past that. But again, we as a government would do everything within the ambience of the law. Most of the 105 spending entities are waiting for this very structural period audit that has been conducted by the Civil Service Agency. Once that is completed, we will have the opportunity to remove ghosts from our system at all levels, and thereby giving us the chance now to hire people based on competence. Some of the startling revelations that we have seen coming out of the preliminary reports that have been made by the Director General of the CSA is just unfounded.
Let's move on now, Boakai. Over the weekend, Liberians woke up to the news of some 285 pieces of earth-moving equipment. The first batch, that's according to the government, has arrived in the country. Again, we saw the reactions from Liberians. It varies from one point to another. There are certain sectors of the society who welcomed the government's decision, while others who disagreed with the government on the basis of